so felt like Kai and Blake, had some really good kicks in there, kept us in it. Ultimately didn't make enough plays to win this game. That's a really good football team. That team's going to play late into this season. We put ourselves in position. Felt like we were competing. We were playing the right way, and we just came up short. And we didn't make enough plays when it mattered most. And they made some plays. They got some really good players that made some plays, and we missed our opportunities when we had them. And so, our guys, we got to just keep on going. We got to keep going. We got to keep battling. We missed 4 ops, and you're given 13 more of these, and we just got to keep getting better and put ourselves in good position.
What was your perspective on the roughing the kicker penalty?
Yeah, I haven't got the perfect look at it yet to evaluate it properly. Obviously, we were being aggressive there, trying to make a play, and we were just short. We just missed it, and those are challenging situations.
So you were talking to the officials about it for a minute. Like, did you think it was potentially running into the kicker versus roughing without the discussion?
No, I was just talking with them about just everything that was going on in that play. All good.
Win don't mean it really matters, but you were closer to making the game off season as far as just an all around game that the team played.
I felt like we competed. We competed in all 3 phases for 4 quarters, and opportunities are going to present yourself. That's what this league's about. You're going to have opportunities, and you got to take advantage of them. And I think there certainly were ones that we took advantage of, just not enough. And so, we had our opportunities late in that game to put ourselves in positive situations, and we just weren't able to come up with it. And so, credit to those guys. They made the plays when they had to, and they took advantage of them.
How much of the idea behind why you wanted to run really special style play down there?
Yeah, just felt like I had the look. Had kind of an ability to get out of it if it wasn't the right look. Felt good about it. We're close, and obviously that's a frustrating one for us to come up short on, just because it felt like the end of the half we were managing that thing pretty well to finish off some points and then get the ball in the second half.
Crystal, they have another option there. If the pass had been there, would he have another?
Yeah, there's another route coming from the other side.
How much of the emphasis on the run was like what you guys just wanted to do fundamentally, like identity, or just like matchup specific?
Every week's going to be different. Every week's going to present different challenges. Certainly, we know the importance of being able to run the football in this league, in both phases and both sides of the football. And so, I felt like there were some steps there. There was some progress. I thought Kendra and Alvin, both those guys just ran really, really hard. Spence used his legs a couple times. Shaheed, he had a couple perimeter runs. And so I felt like there was a lot of positives with that, with the execution in the run game.
Yeah, we talked about Phillips games. How plays were today?
Yeah, there's 4. So obviously we made progress. The bummer is, you get 3 in special teams, and they all kind of impact the game, in drastic spots. And so felt like the pre-snap was better, the post-snap was better. We had a couple critical ones in there that were unfortunate.
Josh Allen made some plays in the fourth quarter. Obviously, he's can't be big. What can you say about the job that he does, and especially in those kind of critical situations? How special is he?
Yeah, Josh is the MVP of this league for a reason. He's a really special player. His composure is like no other in this league. His ability to execute in crunch time and in critical situations. He's done an excellent job for a number of years now. And so, he was able to make plays. And, you give him just that little bit of a rushing lane, and he's going to take it, and he's going to buy time, and he's going to make passes, and he's going to use his legs when he has to late in the game.
Kind of beauty at you've been close 3 times now in these 4 losses, but there's been opportunities kind of right there that you guys kind of missed out on. Do you feel good about having the opportunities being there, or do you want your guys to execute?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, we're in it. It's very frustrating, I think, for all of our guys to feel like you're that close, and just you got to feel the taste of it. Feel the taste of executing in those critical situations to succeed and to find a way to win one of these. And so, while there are positives within this, the ultimate goal has yet to be achieved in a game, and so we're striving for that, and we need to get there.
What did you like in this game about under the center game plan? It seemed like a lot of under center reps for what we've seen so far.
Yeah, we felt like just going into this game plan, felt like it presented itself. Good opportunity, combination of opponent and ourselves, being able to use your cadence a little bit more on the road. I think there was some value to that.
You kind of touched on it, but how important was it just to see this type of response?
Yeah, I certainly think you got to give our players credit for how they responded. Last week got away from us. Our guys, they had the opening drive. They went right down the field and scored. Had a lot of momentum. That's a tough place to play up here. And so our guys settled in. They competed for 4 quarters. They battled. Our group sticks together. I appreciate that. we're right there, and obviously we know there's steps that need to be made to get better and put ourselves in better position. We got to finish one of these, but we just got to keep growing. That's our only choice.
Did you plan to get Quincy into the game, or was that where you guys just how things went?
No, kind of similar to last week. Yeah, opportunities for him as well still.
How would you describe the mood in the locker room? Was it sort of like what you said, like a little frustrated, but you kind of know you're close?
Everyone's competing in the highest level of football, and there's frustration when you come up short. And so for us to come up short 4 straight times, there's a lot of frustration associated with that. But I think the messaging by our players, by our staff, the consistency by everyone's approach gives me hope and optimism that we're going to keep getting better, and we're going to find a way to get into the positive side of these games. And so we're just going to keep on going. I love these guys, and we're just going to keep competing. We'll be back at home this week and, be ready to roll.
How are you dealing with? How are you doing? You are going for like you're going through this for the first time as a head coach. Or you kind of
Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. We go through this journey together. That's what coaches and organizations and players and everyone does the same. And so we're all in this thing together. We all have our frustrations. We all want this really, really bad. We're battling. We're putting a lot of time and effort into this thing, and we got to find a way to get on the right side of this thing. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Jonas is a player that we think very highly of. I thought he played in some really contested situations, battled, playing against some of the premier players. Their tight end group is as good as anyone in this league. Those guys are special players. And so for him to compete the way he did, there's a lot of excitement around him.
Can you get into how beneficial it was for you all today to have Spencer and the ability to use his legs to create plays? It seemed like a number of big plays came from that.
Yeah, I thought his legs came alive. I thought he did some really good stuff with that. By design and also in the scramble phase. And I think that's a critical aspect of this thing. That's a really good defense. They play just with incredible effort, and they give you a lot of different looks, and they're going to challenge you schematically. And so for him, when the opportunity presented itself to recognize the rushing lanes, I thought was really good. It put us in some really positive situations. And so, something he can continue to utilize.
Do you have an update on the season?
I don't. Potentially, we'll see how this thing goes. I'll get a little bit of clarity, give you a better answer probably tomorrow once we go through the medical exams. He had some opportunities, obviously, as the week kind of went, and so just the way the way the game played, we ended up playing in some tempo, and when you play in the tempo situations when you're behind a little bit, the guys are going to tend to stay on the field, and we're not going to get as many personnel packages, so he'll be fine.
What about this matchup opened the door for Christian Boyd to get seemed like a pretty healthy matchup?
Yeah, it was good to see him out there. Obviously, he had a phenomenal preseason. I thought he was really productive. Coming off the injury, had to navigate some of that, and so there was patience with that from his standpoint. I thought he went out there and battled, and I'm excited to see the film and see how it all went down.
How much of having your starting offensive line at least in the first half of the game, like kind of unlocked that running game? I thought you wanted to go this season.
Yeah, that's a good question. Obviously, that was the 5 guys we anticipated. We know this league there's lots of twists and turns, and we've played a lot of different combinations up front. We may have to in the future, and so we'll just continue to build that. I think those guys, the more they rep things together, I thought it was the most awesome thing of seeing Trevor out there playing guard. I thought his physicality as the game went on, he just became more and more comfortable out there, and I thought there was a lot of positives on his side.
How did you think just Spencer did overall?
Yeah, I thought Spence battled. He's right there. I thought his legs came alive. Obviously, from a pass game perspective, we had a couple opportunities we're close on. We just didn't get it done. So.
Only one passing attempt for more than 20 yards, at least one first with all this.
Yeah.
What is it that's kind of limiting the downfield attack?
Yeah, we just got to find different opportunities for it. And so, obviously, we ran the football a lot on first and second down. There's a lot of positives there, and we just got to find a way to get downfield a little bit more. I thought a couple of the designer action shots, the deeper shots, Spence ended up using his legs. And so those were positives in there. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat? Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. The State of the Saints podcast is brought to you by MyBookie. Thank the fine folks at MyBookie for being an official sponsor of the State of the Saints podcast throughout the 2025 season. And I'll let you know how you can take part and some of the great deals that MyBookie has to offer a little bit later in the show. Now, if you did download the MyBookie app and you placed a bet that the Saints would cover, then you got yourself paid today. Even though the New Orleans Saints fall to the Buffalo Bills by a score of 31-19, it wasn't as bad as some people thought that it would be. The New Orleans Saints put forth a valiant effort. I know some Saints fans don't want to hear that, but that's just the truth. There were some good things that happened for the New Orleans Saints in this game. I think we have to start with they minimized the penalties. I'm looking at these stats right now. The New Orleans Saints didn't have many false start penalties, right? They didn't shoot themselves in the foot. They gave themselves an opportunity to be able to win the game. Only 4 penalties for 41 yards today. That's a step in the right direction when you are a team that's tied with the Tennessee Titans for most penalties in throughout the entire season, and you're only 3 games in, coming into the game with 31. The New Orleans Saints they tried to stay lock in step with the Buffalo Bills. They were able to do some things to the Buffalo Bills that really shocked the team. They were able to get pressure on Josh Allen. Although early in the game, you had the wide receivers getting open. They gave them way too much separation. Saints started off playing a lot of man coverage, trying to play man across the board. That didn't work out. They decided to sit Isaac Adams down on the bench and bring in Quincy Riley. And I think that the Saints kind of changed around the defense. And those 2 young guys did pretty well. Ernest Sinker, the young rookie out of Virginia, had a really good game, had 3 pass deflections and covered a lot of ground to get that interception off Josh Allen, something that a lot of people don't do. Look, the Saints were not going to win this football game. All right, let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade. We can talk about how exciting the game was. We can talk about how close the game was. The Saints were not going to beat the Buffalo Bills. All right? The Buffalo Bills are a good football team. The Buffalo Bills are Super Bowl contenders. And this was one of the worst games that Buffalo has played all season. Trust and believe. I've watched every Buffalo Bills game this entire season. This was the worst game they played. And at their worst, they still were able to beat the New Orleans Saints. How many penalties did Buffalo have? Buffalo had 11 penalties in this game. They turned the ball over once, and they shot themselves in the foot countless times, and they still found a way to win. That's what good teams do. They just find ways to win. And the New Orleans Saints aren't a good football team. I said this on the prediction show. I said that the Saints are going to have to be virtually flawless. And even in that effort, they're going to have to hope that Josh Allen does not make the play to win the game. Josh Allen showed you how special he is. Doesn't matter the circumstance. He can put the team on his back, and they're going to win football games. The New Orleans Saints are a limited football team, and you got to have a bunch of things go your way in order for you to even be in it. Missing an opportunity in the red zone towards the end of the first half, that Philly special debacle, that was a missed opportunity. The pass that Chris Rumph deflected and Pete Warner should have caught an interception, that was an opportunity, a missed opportunity. Then you have Chris Olave on a 3rd and 8 on a drag route, should have had the first down. He drops it. That's a missed opportunity. The New Orleans Saints could not afford to have any mishaps, and they had to take advantage of the opportunities when they presented themselves, and they didn't. But credit to Kellen Moore. I think that this was his best play calling of the season as the head coach of the Saints. I think that the offense was ahead of schedule most of the times. I felt like the offense looked effective. They were able to run the football. They averaged 5.6 yards a carry, went over 100 yards, ran the ball 34 times. Both Alvin Kamara and Kendre Miller ran the ball well. And if you add Spencer Rattler running the ball as well, scrambling outside the pocket, it was a plus. Juwan Johnson took advantage of his opportunities, made some tough catches, but still, the wide receivers of the New Orleans Saints are really nowhere to be found throughout games. And this is the most alarming thing. You have guys that are just out there. Nobody's really creating separation. Nobody's coming down with the tough catches. And, you basically got to throw the ball virtually perfect in order for them to catch it sometimes. But, at the end of the day, this was the best case scenario. If you're a New Orleans Saints fan, you definitely did not want to see what you saw last week versus the Seattle Seahawks. And the fact that I didn't think the Saints were going to win, knowing that the Saints were limited and the Buffalo Bills are a Super Bowl contending team, I have no problem with this loss whatsoever. I'm just glad that they actually showed up and tried to win this football game. And you did some things that can lead you into your next game versus the Giants. And if you play the way that you did today, then maybe you'll come away with your first victory of the season. And I'm hoping that's the case for the New Orleans Saints, because I think that Saints fans are just extremely frustrated at what they're actually seeing on the field, not being able to get wins. I understand moral victories are not ideal. Like, this is the National Football League, where you have guys who are, out there trying to win football games, and fans want to see their football team win. So it's only so many times you can just talk about these moral victories. These moral victories are going to have to turn into actual victories, because if not, people are going to just start to check out, which I see quite a few Saints fans doing. I'm going to go ahead and read some of your comments, and then later in the show, I'll go ahead and open up the phone lines for people that want to talk about this game. Let's see. Scotto says, moral victories are becoming old news, TJ. We need results. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. Well, look, it was going to be an uphill battle anyway. The Saints, playing against Buffalo once again. But I agree, moral victories are only going to take you so far. It has to generate into some levels of success. But I didn't expect for the New Orleans Saints to be a good football team this season. Most Saints fans didn't expect for the New Orleans Saints to be good this season, unless, they were just trying to do some type of psychological mind trick on themselves. But I expected for the New Orleans Saints not to beat Buffalo, or maybe win some of the lose the games that they actually lost this season. So, this is what you're going to get until this team figure out what they have and players develop and start to become pros. And also you draft a couple more players and bring in some more talent. I hope Ruiz, I guess he gets traded when he comes back from the injury. I wish him a speedy recovery. Well, look, I don't want to see an offensive lineman go down due to injury for the reason why they're not playing. But I got to say, when Torres Simpkins came in the game, the Saints were still able to run the ball effectively. He was able to pick up the blitz a couple times. They really tried him. So I don't know, man. You hate to see Cesar Ruiz go out, but this dude has been a liability on the offensive line for the New Orleans Saints. As a matter of fact, that one pressure that Buffalo had, I want to say in the first half, it was one play where Cesar Ruiz just bumped right into Eric McCoy. They just ran right into each other, and the defender just basically had a beeline on Spencer Rattler. So you have a guy, Cesar Ruiz, who is a veteran, who's still playing like he's in his first or second year in the season in NFL, and it's just discouraging to see, man. Like I said, Buffalo going to the Super Bowl, even at their worst, they look good. So yeah. Even at their worst, and that's what people need to understand. The Saints wasn't going to win this football game. There was no part or no time in the game that I felt the Saints were going to win. I was watching the game in all seriousness to see if the Saints were going to cover. There was not a time. I don't care if Brandon Cooks would have caught that pass. I still felt like the Saints would have lost. Because the offense of Buffalo was still able to do whatever the heck they wanted to do. There were times where the Saints were able to get stops, like on that fourth down. They tried to do a end around with Khalil Shakur, and Carl Granderson got the stop. There were a couple of things in the game where the Saints made it interesting, but there wasn't a time in the game where I didn't feel okay, if the Saints got a lead, Josh Allen not going to drive down the field and score a touchdown. There wasn't a time. So, this is the best case scenario for me. Buffalo is a really good football team. And you've seen why today, because at their worst, they still can play good enough to win a game. I think we need to have a convo about Rattler. He can't make clutch plays. He has multiple opportunities to take the lead. Well, I don't know, man. I think when it all comes down to it, when teams lose, everybody just focus and zero in on, what the common denominator, I guess. I don't know, man. I think that he played enough for the Saints to win today. I think that, the offense ran the ball really well. I thought that he complemented the running game with the passing game. And they just didn't have what it takes, plain and simple. I mean, did he miss some throws? Absolutely. Like that pass that he threw behind Brandon Cooks that, should have ended up in a touchdown. That definitely should have been a touchdown, and that was an inaccurate pass. But like 2 inaccurate passes is not the reason why the Saints lost the game. Like they lost the game because Buffalo was a better football team. They lost the game because James Cook, let me see, make sure that I'm getting this correctly. James Cook averaged 5.3 yards a carry. He had 22 carries for 117 yards. You lost the game because Josh Allen was able to sustain drives with his legs. And also you had opportunities where, you just didn't take advantage of the opportunities that Buffalo gave to you. So you combine all that, you got to, that's the reason why the Saints lost. Wasn't so much about, inaccurate throw, because that's what we do, man. Like we look at a team and we wonder why they lost, but I mean, a couple like inaccurate throws is not going to be the reason why you lost the game. Missed opportunities, not kicking a field goal and not getting any points in the red zone in the first half, or not catching the ball on third down, or that pass behind Brandon Cooks. You can add all that stuff in. Is the reason why the Saints lost. It wasn't, it just wasn't on just one person. Yeah, when you're a bad team, you can't afford to miss opportunities like that in order to win a game like this. Yeah, I agree. You got to be able to be virtually flawless and hope that you did enough to win a football game versus versus a team like Buffalo. But let me go ahead and I'll open up the phone lines. I want to hear from you all, hear what you all have to say, talking about the New Orleans Saints game. But I do want to mention the fine folks at MyBookie. MyBookie, once again, is the official sponsor here of the State of the Saints podcast. And there is a $500 buy-in option that you can take advantage of. If you were to bet on this game up to or any other game up to $500, you could have gotten your money back if things didn't go your way. If you pick the Saints not to cover, this could have been an opportunity. If you would have selected the opt-in buy-in option, you would have got your $500 back. That is one of the promotions there. And if you want to place bets, all you have to do is download the MyBookie app, use the promo code Saints, all right, to take advantage of that buy-in bonus. But let me go ahead and put that link inside of the comments. Just ask everybody just keep their comments to a minimum, between 2 to 5 minutes to get your point across. So we can just go ahead and move on with the show, so we can get back to the comments inside of the chat as well. Understand a lot of people have a lot of things to say about the team, the direction of the team, but we make sure that we kind of keep this thing at a minimum. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start off with Jordan. Jordan, how you doing?
How you doing, TJ?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. What you got for us?
I just wanted to say it's been a rough week for fans in Louisiana. LSU lost, the Saints lost. We don't have nothing to hold on to. But I don't think nobody should have won this game with any confidence that the Saints was going to win this game.
Yeah.
And we came out and we played fine, but at the end of the day, we just simply don't have the horses.
Yeah.
People that's clamoring for Chris Olave, we do not need to pay this man. We just need to let him walk and go about his business.
Yeah.
Jawan Johnson, he got to go. I mean, Cesar Louise. You never pray for somebody to get hurt, but I think that was mercy because it was a couple of reps where he just looked completely confused.
Mm. Yeah. Look, here's the thing, Jordan. Going back to Chris Olave, I said this before and I'll say it again, and I don't mind being a bad guy. I don't. We don't want to come to grips with guys because we have these emotional investment in players. Oh, I like him. I want to see him succeed. I like Chris Olave as a player. I watched Chris Olave from the time he was at Ohio State. I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. You can accept this or not. Those concussions are playing a role in how he's playing the wide receiver position, and it's affecting him psychologically. And what we like to do is when somebody says something on social media, and then all of a sudden a player makes a play. Oh, you were saying? Like I was saying the same thing. That doesn't change. Look, one play does not absolve what I'm actually seeing. And this guy is counted on to be a top receiver for the New Orleans Saints, regardless if he is a number one receiver or not. And he hasn't been living up to that number one tag. And the Saints need him to be able to play. And number one receivers aren't fourth when it comes to the pecking order of receiving yards in a game. They always at the top somewhere, rather it's one or two. And Chris Olave, to me, leaves a lot to be desired. And the Saints do not need to pay him an extension. As a matter of fact, if things continue to go down this road, Jordan, I feel like the Saints need to go ahead and trade him and send him somewhere else where you can get some draft capital in exchange for him, because it's not like you're just completely missing out on something because he's not making plays consistently enough for you to just justify him being that number one guy.
Yeah, and then TJ, we did have some positives, right? I like that Spencer Rattler, he played within himself and he stuck to the game plan. I thought Kellen Moore should have been a little bit more aggressive. I hated that call on the goal line. If you go throw an interception, I'd rather it come from the quarterback.
Yeah.
You can't your interceptions can't come from your running backs and your wide receivers. That just can't happen in the NFL. I thought we should have ran the ball there, but look, at the end of the day, we had an opportunity before halftime to turn the game around, and maybe somewhere, some way, if we catch an interception or something, maybe we win the game. Who knows?
Yeah. I just think that there was some squandered opportunities. Like, to me, Buffalo at the end of the first half, Jordan, they didn't have any timeouts. And if your biggest concern was Josh Allen getting a ball back to facilitate a 2-minute drill, all you had to do was run a football. Number one, running a football was effective the entire game for the New Orleans Saints by both Kendrick and Alvin. So you're running a football. If they tackle you on first down, tackle you on second down, the clock is continuing to move. So that's less chances Josh Allen has driving down the field to set up a touchdown or a field goal. I just didn't like the play call in the red zone, and I definitely didn't feel like it was necessary to call a Philly special at that time. I mean, you needed the points, and you have to understand that if you're not putting it in the hands of your quarterback or your running back, there's a huge chance that play might not end up being the way that you want to, putting it in the hands of a guy who is not known for throwing a football in Chris Olave. So I agree with you. Like, you have to be able to put it in the hands of your quarterback or your running back, not at that particular point where you can actually get a chance for a 2-for-1 because you were getting the ball back at the start of the second half. You got anything else?
Yeah, I just got a couple more things. I still don't understand why Shaheed is not on kickoff. My God, they kick off the ball 5-6 times a game, and they just kicking it to people that's just not explosive. You have to do what you have to do to get your playmaker the ball. Is he gonna be a Tyreek Hill and go get you 1,200 yards receiving? No, but that's okay. People like Devin Hester and people of that nature that used to play, they made impacts returning the ball.
Right.
Why not give him that opportunity?
Yeah. Yeah, I think what the Saints are looking at is his value at the wide receiver position, and they don't want to see him like returning punts and end up getting hurt, and then now he's not a part of the rotation. I mean, they already limited as is, so I think it has a lot to do with them trying to transition him to be a part of the game plan. and they basically kind of utilize him in special situations where maybe they're trying to provide a spark or trying to get field position. So they're utilizing Velus Jones. I'm glad that they didn't use Kendre Miller in this game as a returner. They decided to go with Velus Jones. I think what we've seen today from Kendre is the type of running back that he is, and that's the type of contributions he needs to make to the Saints. So hopefully we don't see him back there anymore. But Jordan, I got to go ahead and go, man. I got a few people I got to get to, but it's a pleasure talking to you, man, and call back anytime.
All right, pleasure talking to you, TJ.
All right, take care. Yeah, I mean, Jordan has a point. Like, you want somebody that's going to be explosive back there. But, I'm glad that they didn't put Kendre Miller back there in the backfield to try to be returning kicks. That's just not his wheelhouse. His wheelhouse is what he did today, getting those tough yardage, really showing balance. And I think he ran the ball well. And I think that this is the type of game that can build the confidence of Kendre, because they're going to need him, man. They're going to need him. Now, that's the type of game where, the Saints fans can be excited about the potential of Kendre Miller. And if you are a part of the Saints organization, this is the type of game where you're justified by drafting this guy a couple of years ago in the third round. We're going to go to Uncle Paulie. Uncle Paulie, how you doing?
What'd you say, TJ? Where you at?
Not much, man. Appreciate you calling in on this episode. What you got for us, Unc?
Man, it's been a long time. But man, I gotta say, watching this Saints offense is like a toothache.
Mm.
I'm like, what is I'm telling you, if Spencer Rattler not careful, he's gonna be between a Derek Carr and an Ian Book. What is he looking at when he try? To me, he's got a serious deficiency in reading defenses.
Right.
That pass to Chris Olave, they should have. He had Juwan Johnson. They should have sent Juwan Johnson on a slant toward the other way instead of trying to get Olave. You mentioned it a few minutes ago about the concussion, but Olave was looking at that sideline. He was like, "No, I ain't gonna work." I don't know. He should have at that point. Rattler should have tried to put the ball to where he could catch it with his body. I know he's supposed to catch with your hands, but Olave likes to do it the hard way. What you think?
Well, I think when he threw a pass, like, it was on a drag route, so the pass was going to lead him out of bounds anyway. I think it was to a point where he wanted to put it in a place where Chris Olave can corral the catch and also get 2 feet in bounds, which technically he did. He just bobbled it at the end. So if he would have just caught it like just straight on, then it would have been a first down. But I think I look at spots. I think a lot of people sometimes, when it comes to throwing a football, I think they just look at, this guy needs to put it on the numbers. Now, there are times where you definitely got to put it on the numbers, but you also have to throw it low sometimes, or behind somebody, or back shoulder fade. It depends on the severity of the situation. Like, you got to be able to see certain things before they actually happen. I just think, man, when it comes down to Spencer Rattler, the inaccuracy is definitely causing him to really progress as a quarterback. And as far as Chris Olave, I just think that he's just in his head right now. I think that those concussions kind of affected him psychologically. And I just think when he hears footsteps, sometimes they seem a little closer than what they actually are.
To me, TJ, I mean, it's like they're not getting any better. What do they do, in practice all week? It's like the same old vanilla offense, seem like week in and week out. Just like the Philly special. Why would you do a Philly special? Now, tell me if I'm wrong, TJ. Now, if Taysom Hill was out there, I might could see that. You pulling a play like that. What you think?
I agree.
Am I right or wrong?
With that.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't think it was warranted at that time, especially like when you need points, right? You're going up against a really good football team in Buffalo. Like, you can't be playing around with these guys. Right. And they're so disciplined as a football team. I know the penalties today don't indicate my statement, but throughout the season, they have been a very disciplined football team. And you're not going to get away with that stuff. And like I said, you had the opportunity to run the football. If you don't get in it for the touchdown, kick the field goal. Then you got 3 points. you basically leave about 20 seconds left on the clock for Josh Allen to have to drive down the field. And I would take that over a minute and 12. Now, it kind of worked in the Saints' favor because Buffalo kept shooting themselves in the foot with penalties, but that was way too much time that you left on the clock when Buffalo didn't have timeouts. You got that. That's where the inexperience of Kellen Moore comes in. You got to be able to understand not just the actual game that you're looking at, but the things surrounding the game, like the play clock, your usage of the timeouts, and also situational football. I didn't think situational football was at its best at that time, man. Oh, you got anything else?
It wasn't TJ, and like I say, it's getting to be. If you notice, and like I say, tell me if I'm wrong. It's like I never played football, but I watched enough of it. Even back in the day with the old Dome Patrol. If the offense, if your defense is getting the ball, sacks, interception, fumble recovery, and your offense get out there and put three and out, put three and out, kicking field goal, sooner or later your defense goes. What I'm gonna say is gonna get pissed off, frustrated, or they're gonna get tired, and then you're gonna lose the game. You can't, you never want your defense say, hey, don't need us try to wear. I said if our offense come out there, they ain't gonna do squat. What you think?
I agree with what you're saying. The frustration, definitely would be warranted. I mean, if your offense constantly was getting 3 and outs, but I'm looking at some of these, I'm not really seeing too many 3 and outs by the Saints today, but in games past,
It
it
has
wasn't,
happened.
so much like that. Like I'm looking, let me see. It was 6
It's
plays.
like
It was 6
the
plays
Cardinal game. When they played the Cardinals, there was too many 3 and out, in my opinion.
Yep.
And some in Seattle. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I agree. Like you want to be able to sustain drives, but at the same time, this defense has left a lot to be desired too. Like they got to be able to do their part as well. Like I get it. You want to. That's what is called complementary football. You want your offense to be able to sustain drives. And in this game, like we seen something that we don't normally see. Buffalo, when they first came out, I'm pretty sure you echo my sentiments, Unc. When Buffalo came straight out and just drove down the field and Khalil Shakir broke about 3 tackles for a 42-yard touchdown, it was like, man, it's gonna be a tough day, gonna be a long day. But what did the Saints do? They responded. They sustained it. They sustained the drive, 2 third-down conversions. But ran right down the field, scored a touchdown. So they responded. But when your defense is not picking up the slack in this game, but your offense is doing some things to stay in it, you still are going to be a mixed bag. It has to be complementary football. So they're going to have to figure this out. They got to learn how to sustain drives as an offense, and all the while be able to get pressure on these quarterbacks. Luckily for the New Orleans Saints, I mean, Josh Allen is probably going to be the best quarterback they played the entire season. So that's a plus.
But yeah, man, they just like I say, the defense, the defensive line, I don't see enough rotation going on in there. I think the tackles, they just it's just not working, TJ. It's just not working. And Brandon Staley, if Kellen Moore was anywhere, Brandon Staley would get him fired. He is a terrible defensive coordinator. What you think?
I think that he definitely didn't have a really good showing like early in the game. I don't know what they would think. I think that they underestimated the talent and the abilities of those Buffalo receivers in the first quarter. They were playing a lot of man coverage. They're playing man across the board. And, Joe Brady was like, okay, y'all want to play man coverage? So you see a lot of comeback route, a lot of hitch routes by Keon Coleman, Shavers. They used Shakir in a slot. I mean, you also seen Palmer out there making plays. So the Saints made the adjustment. They adjusted a little bit to more of zone coverage, and that's when you start to see it improve. So I didn't like the game plan at the beginning. They kind of picked it up at the end. But all things considered, I mean, this is the Buffalo Bills we're talking about. Like they're going to score points. They're going to convert third downs. That's just the way that it goes, man. But yeah, they definitely need to be able to get more pressure, and they need more from this secondary. I think they're a few players away in the secondary from being a viable defense. But right now, like they don't have the horses in the barn, as Jordan said on the last call, to be able to
They don't know how to
don't have
tackle,
anybody.
TJ. What
You
is
said
wrong
what?
with the tackle? You supposed to rap. You know, this the NFL, man. This ain't Pee Wee League. You not gonna hit a guy, he just fall. You got to hit him and rap. They don't
Yeah.
rap.
Yeah, and
What you
that
talking?
comes from where we've heard the reports about the lackadaisical type practices they were having. You know, like you got to put emphasis on these things. I understand
Shoot.
the whole CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, where guys can't practice the way that they did back in the day.
Right.
Jim
Yeah.
Mora was there, and
Oh,
you had Buddy Ryan, and them, they can practice all day and night. But
3 hours. You got that right.
right, but now but now you can't do that anymore. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
things like tackling, certain technique, it kind of takes a back seat because of not practicing or putting enough emphasis on it. But yeah, I definitely agree that the tackling was a little bit spotty, throughout the season, especially like in key moments. So they're gonna have to figure this thing out, man. But yeah, but
They
it
don't
was
watch
pretty
it.
bad
They
today.
don't watch it, TJ. They're gonna be 0-5 because the Giants, hey, it's the way their offensive line is doing, and the Saints secondary don't tighten up, man, it's gonna be a long season, bro.
Yeah, they're gonna have to tighten it up, man. But we'll see, man. Like I said, there was some good things they did in the game. Could it carry over to the Giants? We'll see. But Unc, I appreciate the call, man, and make sure
Thank
that you
you,
call
sir.
back anytime.
All right, I'm gonna try to make it a habit.
All right, appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
All right, yeah, man. Shouts out to Unc, man. I mean, he made some good points. I mean, the tackling has been a tad bit spotty. You know, you got, I mean, but like I said, man, you have these practices and you're trying to get everything in in a certain time frame, and certain things gonna have to take a back seat. But yeah, they definitely got to work on the tackling. They got to work on some of the eye discipline. But lucky for them, they're not gonna play a quarterback like Josh Allen for the rest of the season. This is probably the best quarterback they're gonna play all year long. We're gonna go ahead and move to Mike. Mike, how you doing, man?
What's up, man?
What you got for us?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Chris Olave still on this football team? What does he do other than drop the ball? Yeah, he had a touchdown in the third quarter. Okay. What's his name? Jack Stoll had a touchdown last week. Should we extend him? And the problem I got with this team, we gave Juwan Johnson $30 million. To do what? I'm still waiting.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, a lot of short catches. I mean, he made some tough catches today, but he definitely doesn't deserve the type of money the Saints paid him. I think that had a lot to do with the fact that maybe they were a tad bit nervous that they wouldn't be able to find somebody. I don't know, but yeah, I think you can do a lot better than what Juwan Johnson gives you. But I mean, all things considered today, I mean, this wasn't his worst performance. And when he did catch the ball, there was some tough catches, but I definitely wouldn't have paid him, to be honest with you. I don't think he, like, the way that the Saints paid him is like a guy who is going to be flirting with 100 yards every single week, and that's just not who he is.
Yeah, bro, we could have drafted Tyler Warren and pay him the rookie contract if we were going to pay Juwan $30 million. Man, right. Tyler Warren at least scored a touchdown today.
Yeah.
Juwan Johnson, I don't know what that man does. He's not a George Kittle. He doesn't get no YPC, aka yards after reception. He doesn't do none of that. He's the guy that you can maybe go to on third downs, maybe, depending on if he wants to catch the dang ball or not.
Yeah,
but that's up to him though. Because if he you have to summon the Juwan Johnson demon for him to catch a ball. Because if you don't do that, the man's going to drop the ball and he's wide open.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, look, here's the thing, Mike. We seen a play today where Josh Allen, I want to say maybe threw the ball to Khalil Shakir. It was like a 10-yard catch, and he turned that into a 42-yard touchdown. Exactly. You look at some of these catches that these wide receivers were making, they were peeling off defenders and getting yards after the catch. This is the issue with the New Orleans Saints. And I think that this is the reason why people are clamoring for deep passes down the field. If you actually have wide receivers who can catch passes and break off tackles and be able to run after the catch, I don't think the emphasis on the deep pass or people getting frustrated that the deep pass isn't there would be the topic of conversation as often. You got to be able to find players that are going to be able to get you that yak. I mean, the opportunities are very slim, and the windows are very, very like they're very, very slim as well when it comes to like passes down the field or whatever. Like, so sometimes like you're going to have to break off a tackle. Sometimes you're going to have to fight for extra yards. And I've seen that constantly in this game from Buffalo. I haven't seen it so much from the Saints. It's like as soon as Rattler throws the ball, guys fall into the ground. So to me, I think the Saints lack yak getters. And if you lack these yak getters, then you're probably not going to have an effective offense. Unless you just basically have a bunch of guys that can get 50-50 balls down the field, which clearly these wide receivers cannot. So I think that's the biggest issue to me, that you don't have anybody that can just go out there and make a play.
Yeah, and also another thing, Kellen Moore, look, I'm still going to give you time. It's your first year, so I'm not going to throw in the towel yet on you.
Mm-hmm.
But why in the world, 3rd and goal, down by 4 points,
oh, man,
now to go to halftime at the 2-yard line, and Chris Olave, who can't even catch the football, so you're going to do the Philly special where you're going to have him throw the ball. If he can't do the job he's supposed to do, right, what makes you think he can do something else? That's like if a guy that just burned down a building gets promoted to making buildings. It's like, what? Like, and you see, it wouldn't be that big of a problem if we were even winning the game. I could maybe see it, but we needed points there. We can't be getting all cute in the red zone when we need points. If you score a touchdown, that could have changed the whole game.
Yeah.
But instead, Chris Olave threw more interceptions than Spencer Rattler today.
Mm.
Like, what are you doing, P. Werner? Don't go ahead, Mister P. Werner. The ball was in your hand. I don't want to hear the ball was. I don't want to hear nothing. The ball was in your hands. Why? You see, this is the story of the Saints season so far.
Mm-hmm.
It's been DROPS, drops. They drop everything. It's like if the ball is just a little bit, not a whole lot to where you have to churn your entire body, but if the ball is just a little bit too low or a little bit too high, they don't know what to do. It's like they've never seen a football before. They literally catch the ball like a 2-year-old.
Yeah. You got to take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves. And when you have an opportunity to be able, like, if you would have did things correctly, right? If Pete Werner would have caught that interception, then I want to say they were just outside the red zone. They could have even been in the red zone, Mike.
That would have been a touchdown.
It could have been a touchdown, it could have been a field goal, but those are still points that are added on. The Saints left 6 points. Like, think about this. Okay, if we talk about the Saints have a chance, this is for the people that's like, okay, the Saints had a chance. Let's say Pete Werner ends up intercepting that pass. The Saints, they I don't want to say go 3 and out, but they kick a field goal. That's 3 points right there. Let's just say at the end of the half, the New Orleans Saints don't go for the Philly special. Instead, they run the football with Alvin Kamara. He doesn't get it. And Blake Cooper kicks another field goal. That's 6 points right there. Now, in the game, at that particular time, you probably actually had a lead. Or if you don't shoot yourself in the foot with this punt and rough the kicker, then you're getting the ball back with a chance to possibly win this football game.
Yeah.
That is why I'm saying, like, you got to be able to take advantage of these opportunities. You had 2 opportunities for possible red zone points that you squandered by being too cute. And I can get it. You don't want to be super conservative, but in certain situations, it's okay to be conservative. So the Saints, like, they overthought a lot of situations in this game. And also they had some very costly miscues, like that interception that Pete Werner didn't get, that roughing the kicker. Like they didn't possess the ball, and that set up Matt Prater to kick a field goal, which made the lead insurmountable at that time. So there were opportunities that the Saints squandered in this game. Like, and if they probably would have played things a little bit differently, taking the points, like you probably would have had a whole different story at this point. and maybe we would have been talking about the Saints, you know, driving down the field to possibly win a football game or set up a long field goal by Blake Grupe. But I digress, man. Oh, you got anything else, Mike?
Yeah, one more thing. There was one. I've been like super negative on things, so I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end my segment on something positive.
Mm-hmm.
Jonas Anchor.
Yep.
Shout out to you, man. Jonas Anchor didn't just intercept the ball, something that people weren't going to do. But anyways, Jonas Anchor not only intercepted the ball, but 2 times. I saw this man 2 times jump so high in the air where he was able to bat the ball from a tight end, not just a regular receiver, but Dalton Kincaid, one of the tallest people on the field. Jonas Anchor was able to outmuscle him. So that is probably the lone or one of like maybe 3 lone bright spots of today. And also, but next time, I would say this. Next time, and one more thing, and this is for real. Yeah. Have you ever been inside of a classroom? Like, I know you're definitely not in school right now, but like, say you're young. Let's say when you were younger, right? Have you ever been in a classroom where the teacher like wants to help the students, but the students don't care themselves? That's literally how I watch the Saints. It's like, I want the Saints to win. I want the Saints to be successful. But on the field, it doesn't look like they want to be successful. No. Like the amount of times they go 3 and out, and look, a lot of people are going to say, look, Ryler did everything he could today. Ryler can't stop a lot of it from dropping every single pass that hits him dead on the money. It's like what do you want Ryler to do? Catch the ball himself?
I don't know, man. All I know is the Saints have issues, and if I can just write down all the issues that caused the New Orleans Saints not to win football games, Spencer Rattler would definitely not be in my top 3. I just
great, no. But
I think he gets better every single week. I just think that Saints fans aren't looking at the obvious that's right in front of them, which is they don't have playmakers on the offensive side of the football.
Not at all.
There are no dynamic players. Like I think, and this goes back to what I've been saying for the longest. Saints fans are spoiled by Drew Brees' success. Drew Brees could make something out of nothing for years. It didn't matter if they had average talent at the wide receiver position. It didn't matter if they had guys that can get yards after the catch. Drew Brees could be able to make those guys better. You don't have that benefit. But the problem is people feel like if you don't have a quarterback that doesn't resemble that, they feel like that's not a good quarterback. And that's just not the truth. Some quarterbacks need complementary players around them. I don't care how good you are. You need complementary players. And that's what I keep on trying to beat into the head of these Saints fans. There is not a quarterback that's out there or on the bench that is going to come in and that's just going to take this team and put it on his back. It's just not happening. Like, I just want people to understand that. And even if you draft a quarterback, he's still not going to be able to be everything you want him to be right away. Like, and if that's the case, then fine. But in more cases than not, Mike, Saints fans, who that nation, that just does not happen. And it just makes me scratch my head when people just sitting up here just just picking at a guy that, he's not the perfect all-world quarterback, but I mean, you don't have a lot of great quarterbacks out here right now playing some high-level football. The Saints seen one today in Josh Allen, but there's not too many out there that can actually be what Josh Allen is for the Buffalo Bills right now.
Yeah, now next week we're playing the Giants, who just got a win over the Chargers, so they're full momentum right now.
Yep.
And look, Jackson Dart, he played solid today, but if we can't beat a rookie quarterback, we're not. Look, I said this last week, and I'll say it again. If what we did last week against Seattle wasn't obvious enough, this team, and you know what? So I'm not going to name drop somebody, but somebody showed a comment of a Saints fan. He's ironically a Bills fan. Someone showed a comment of a Saints fan saying how we're not that bad. Look, are we the worst team in the league? Probably not, because, not everybody can go toe-to-toe with the Bills. You saw the Jets in week 2 got blown out by the Bills. And not everybody can go toe-to-toe with arguably the best team in football.
Right.
However, when you when you gag, choke, blow a game the way the Saints did today, that's what Saints. And I understand the Saints didn't deserve to win this game. If you are calling stupid plays inside the red zone, you don't deserve to win. If your number one wide receiver can't catch a ball, you don't deserve to win this game. If your offensive line plays well, but then on fourth down crumbles in the waning seconds, you don't deserve to win this game. If you have an inexperienced quarterback play and everybody else is not helping out that inexperienced quarterback, you don't deserve to win this game. If you can't make a tackle, if your best player on defense, Demario Davis, cannot tackle Khalil Shakir, you don't deserve to win the game. So did the Saints deserve to win the game? No. So that's why it hurts, because the Saints could have won this game. But when you make the mistakes that they did today, you don't deserve to win. And I'm not afraid to say that. The New Orleans Saints today did not deserve to beat Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was just a lot of I don't say a lot of miscues, but the miscues that they had cost them a chance to win this football game. But Mike, I appreciate the call, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'll call back anytime, man.
All right, bro.
All right, take it easy. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Mike, man. I mean, good points. I mean, when you make some of those costly mistakes, you're not going to win the football game. You're just not. Especially against a really talented Super Bowl caliber team like Buffalo. All right, we're gonna go to Saints Bills. How you doing?
What's up, TJ?
What's going on, Dalton? How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. What you got for us this afternoon?
Well, man, I don't know why Chris Olave is on the Saints team. I'm gonna compare to him, even though he never plays for the Saints. He is Nelson Aguilar 2.0. And the reason I'm saying that, though, he's dropping the balls.
Yeah. I already told people, man, Chris Olave is much better than what he's showing right now. I just think that his confidence is shot, and I think that he's hearing footsteps. I do. I think that he's not a number one receiver, and I think the New Orleans Saints need to cut their losses with him. I think if things continue to go the way that they've been going, they need to consider trading him and maybe get some value, because in NFL circles, he's still considered a really talented wide receiver, and teams will give the Saints a nice draft pick for him. So, because they feel like, hey, we'll probably be able to do something with him. But right now, he's not what the Saints need. The Saints need more from a number one wide receiver than what Chris Olave is giving them. And they're going to have to find that guy, because I can tell you right now, he's not on this team.
Agreed. And also for the Saints, though, I like how they did Kendrick Miller run the ball and off the except the middle, like when he did it sideways. My question is, where is Devin Neal? I was hoping he plays today. He hasn't played last week, but I was hoping he'd get enough reps. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, he's been a healthy scratch. I mean, I seen him on the sidelines. I mean, he was in the Saints wear, so they didn't activate him. But there's nothing wrong with him. And I felt, maybe they should have utilized him. I don't know why they're not utilizing him like in the return game. I mean, he can't be no worse than what the other guys back there doing. So, I think they need to utilize Devin Neal in certain situations. I think that he's a really good, guy, a really good running back. He can pick up the blitz. He can get the yards after the catch when you throw him the football. And, he's also a really good running back. So I think he's a good overall guy. I don't know if it's the numbers thing. Maybe, they want him to play, but, they need certain players at certain positions. But I definitely feel like Devin Neal needs to be available for the Saints.
Yeah, agreed. And also, I'm done with Staley. I don't know if it's really him or the new defensive scheme, like 3 and 4, because like when we run 3-4, look what happened. Like first year Rob Ryan, they turned him around and it fell off the cliff though. He was trying to make the Legion of Boom, which it's never going to work out though.
Right.
But like Pete Warner, oh my goodness, can you please do something though? I think you decline though. I know defense aging, like Kim Jordan still aging. Granderson, he still do his thing though. Davis he's still pretty good though. I mean, he's declining. Those secondaries are awful, except for Shanker. Shout out to him getting first pick though. I mean, I'm still Bills. I love Bills and Josh Allen fan, stuff like that though. But Isaac's bum. Like Coolman, seriously, he's not a lockdown corner. We don't have no lockdown corners and cornerback number one. Be honest with you.
Nope. Absolutely not. The Saints don't have a number one corner. Kool-Aid McKinstry is not a number one corner. Isaac Adam, I don't even know why he's out there. Like, I'm glad that they pulled him and put Quincy Riley out there. Like, if you're going to be going through the motions as a secondary, you at least want to have some young, inexperienced guys out there, getting baptized through fire, so to speak. Like, if Quincy Riley, there was one play where Quincy Riley didn't trust his eyes, right?
Right.
It was like more like he thought that maybe the wide receiver was going to go on a stop and go, but instead, like, it was more of a hitch route, and he didn't trust his eyes. And maybe if he did, he could have jumped in front of that pass, rather it was deflected or intercepted. But those are things that young players are going to have to learn as the game goes on. But I'd rather have a young player out there going through the motions than a guy like Ike Adam, who has been given countless opportunities to prove who and what he is. And and I want people to understand this too, Dalton. It's okay for a guy to reach his ceiling. Like, sometimes guys just reach their ceiling. They're never going to be any better or any worse than what they are as a football player. And I just think that it's up to organizations to understand that, and they cut their losses. Like, there's nothing wrong with Pete Warner. Pete Warner is a solid starting linebacker in the NFL. But if you're actually looking for a sideline to sidelines maniac type linebacker, that's just not who he is. So I think the worst thing that we can do as fans is hope that one game this person just ends up turning into what we feel he needs to be. And we're like 80 games into his career. We're like 100 games into their career. Like, it doesn't change. Like, sometimes guys can go to different situations. Let's just say if they're young and they go to a different team and that team finds a way to utilize them. But when you're like 7, 8 years into your career and you're making these mistakes, you'll make a tackle, you'll miss a tackle. You'll catch an interception, you won't catch it. It's kind of who you are. So I just think I look at Pete Warner as a solid starting linebacker in the NFL. But what the New Orleans Saints need right now, they need a disruptor. They need somebody that their offenses fear. And they don't have that right now. You got anything else, Dalton?
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, before I go, though, I want to talk about this whole Bills thing, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like Shakir, like we've been talking about, like, he's very underrated. I like how Coleman's been doing, though. Like, Dalton Kincaid, well, even though didn't do very much, though, like, except the blown coverage, though, that was pretty perfect, though. Like, James Cook, I like how they've been using him, though. But the only thing I didn't like about the Bills on offense, like, when you saw it was fourth down, they handed Shakir and we stopped him. Oh man, I didn't like that call. They could have at least punt the ball or field goal. I don't know what yard they were at, though, but I didn't like that, though.
Yeah.
Also,
now go ahead.
Bills defense. Oh, sorry, Bills defense. I still don't trust them, though. They got to get together, though. I'm gonna say this, though, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Drew Brees and the Saints fan, and I love the Bills and Josh Allen. Josh Allen is Drew Brees in the playoffs, and I'll explain why I said that, though. Think about it, though. When Drew Brees in the Saints playoffs, Drew Brees was never a problem in the playoffs, though. It was the defense. Same thing as the Bills. The Bills defense, they can get the job done. Josh Allen, he playing his heart out, though. This defense is the problem, though. That's why I compare Josh Allen to Drew Brees in the playoffs, though. I'm not trolling them because they're my favorite quarterbacks, so I'm just being honest.
Yeah. I think maybe the absence of Ed Oliver played a role in this game. Also Milano not being in the lineup, but man, Milano has been dealing with injuries like throughout his entire his career. Like, but I look at this defense, and they have been susceptible to the run. I mean, you watched the game in Week 1 versus Baltimore. I mean, Derrick Henry was able to run up and down the field on them, and even with the Dolphins, they were able to find success running the football just a tad bit also. But the Buffalo Bills are a team. They're a scrappy football team. They rally together at certain moments, and then if the game is close, then you have number 17 to be able to take the team and put it on his back. So, as long as you have Josh Allen and you have some players around him, and you have opportunistic defense that can make a play, to put themselves in a position to win a football game, I think they'll be fine. Because they had no business beating Baltimore. I mean, it took Ed Oliver to pull the ball out of Derrick Henry's hand to kind of just set up the comeback. So I think Buffalo will be fine. I do think that they just have to be able to clean up that the run defense because I mean
Agreed.
it's been an issue all season long, man.
And I'm not gonna lie though, I thought we was gonna lose to the Ravens though. If it went for Henry from the ball though, we would have lost in week 1, and I'll admit that.
Right. I mean, but look, that's what good teams do, though. Dalton, they find ways to win. Like you don't apologize for winning a football game. And at the end of the day, we're talking about this right now because we're like 3 weeks removed. But if we're having this conversation, Dalton, and week 15, and Buffalo has double-digit wins, like nobody really thinking about those things, right? So
Right.
when it all comes down to it, what you have is a team that finds ways to win. And if you are a fan of Buffalo, you can take solace in knowing that over the last 2 games, they haven't played their best, but they still found a way to win a football game on last Thursday versus Miami and now versus the New Orleans Saints. So they got some things that they can build on. So,
And also, I agree. And also, you're not gonna believe this though.
hmm?
Not trolling anything, but this is the first time the Bills beat the Saints in Buffalo since 1983.
Yep. That's the first time they did it, which is absolute surprise. Last time the Saints lost to Buffalo, that was a home game for the Saints. But look, man, when you have Josh Allen, man, when you have a really good dynamic quarterback like that, you're gonna win a lot of football games. And a lot of people are picking Buffalo to finally get over that hump and be in the Super Bowl. So I like watching Josh Allen. I told you, man, like I like watching the Buffalo Bills. I have nothing against them. Like to me, their fan base are like committed. They're a blue collar town. They love themselves some Buffalo Bills, and they've had prosperity throughout the years, but they just can't get over that hump with the Super Bowls, man. Like and
exactly
when you see a team that in an organization and a fan base that kind of go through some of the things Buffalo go through, you just want to kind of see them like break through. Like that's why I'm happy to see a team like Detroit. Glad to see teams like Buffalo, being able to be some of the best teams in the NFL. You want to see them win for their fan base who have been committed to them all those years, man. But I got to go ahead and go, Dalton. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. I can talk football with you for hours, bro. But
I didn't know it's been longer than that though. But yeah, just
Nah, but it's all good, man. Look, I enjoy talking football with you, and man, you can call back anytime. If you're not doing anything tonight, you got the live stream coming up. We can finish talking Buffalo on the stream. I'll open up the phone lines too, man. But I appreciate the call.
I'll talk to you later. Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
All right, no problem, Dalton. Yeah, man. Shouts out to Dalton, man. I mean, look, Buffalo is a really good football team. They find ways to win, and that's all you can ask for. Is a team going out there finding ways to win in ugly situations. We're gonna go to Himothy. Himothy, how you doing? Himothy, are you there?
Yo, you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's going on? What you got for us?
What's going on with you?
And nothing much, man. What we talking about this game?
Nah, for sure, man. It's just look, I really want to rant like
Go
crazy.
ahead, man. Floor is yours, man. Floor is yours.
I mean, I feel like okay, we had the game in reach, but it's a lot of dynamics that's stopping us from being successful. Whether it's crucial penalties, whether it's players not executing, Kellen Moore not seeing like something that you said was crucial, bro. When you said we need to stop looking at players in they 50th game, 100th game, and thinking that they're going to change, when in reality they are who they are. I feel the same way about Spencer Rattler. I feel the same way about Olave. I'm starting to feel that way about Shaheed because these guys, like the key pieces of our offense, the key pieces of even our defense, Yadam, he needs to go. Just put Riley in, like you said, throw him to the fire. Kool-Aid is not a number one. He needs to be a number two. Who else, bro? It's a lot of guys. I feel like Ruiz. Why is we still pampering this man, bro? Like it's getting ridiculous. Like it's starting to make me feel like, damn, like is we even trying to win? Like, Kellen Moore.
That's a good question.
Yeah, he's calling good games, but it's just he's not disciplining these players. He's not grabbing the respect of these players, man. He coming in every week with this, let's keep hope alive. Oh, we got this many games left, or oh man, we just need to play better situational football. It's your job as a head coach to get us over the hump of being undisciplined. That was the problem with Dennis Allen.
Yeah. Look,
Like,
man, let me say this. I look at this New Orleans Saints team. I definitely feel like you're onto something when it comes to the statement you made about do they want to win. I'm not saying that they don't want to win. I mean, when you see games like this, they want to win. But I'm wondering to myself, have they already come to grips with the fact that this isn't going to be the season where you're going to generate the results that Saints fans want to see, organization want to see, and they probably just are looking at, okay, let's just put together a competitive team to a point where maybe we don't lose our fans, because they understand it's a rebuild and they're trying to put forth the effort. That's what I'm looking at. So, and maybe it's one of those things where, man, at the end of this season, you're probably going to see some guys going like Cesar Ruiz, maybe Chris Olave, maybe a new
Jawan
quarterback.
Johnson.
Yeah, like guys like that. Like maybe
Like,
it's going to happen because you're going into the season with a bad cap situation. It's pretty obvious that the New Orleans Saints, they could have went out here and found some veterans that probably would have gave you better production than maybe some of these young players would. But they're giving these young players an opportunity to say, okay, we're going to give you this 2025 season to show us if you're worth the investment, or should we go in a different direction when our cap situation is in a better, in better standards. Maybe we'll, get a top draft pick to be able to do some things. Maybe, like we can go out here in a free agent market to be able to bring in or entice a top player at a certain position. So maybe that's what they're looking at. But I mean, they're not going to say that. Like if you tell a fan base, okay, this is not going to be a good season for us this year. Like they're going to be like, well, I'll see y'all next year. So
now that's true, but that's definitely true. I just feel like when it come down to it, like I feel like fans would be more we would be more happy if we saw that y'all was really embracing change. Like every year it's like this, trying to patch together holes in different ways, and it never end up getting the tire rolling. Like, damn, we got 20 patches in this tire. Like
yeah,
at this point, let's just replace the tire. And it's coming down like fans, like even fans that's blowing me right now with this Tyler Shuck, Spencer Rattler thing. Like, I'm not a Tyler Shuck fan, but I am a fan of the future. Let's see what we have in Tyler Shuck. We sitting here steadily putting Rattler out on this field, bro, because I guess he gives us the better chance to win. This man is not giving us a better chance to win. If you look at his stats before this game, people was, oh man, his numbers look just like Josh Allen. I'm like, but can you say that he has the same amount of impact moments as Josh Allen does in these games? This guy is missing wide open receivers, and it's like, okay, I understand you a football in the National Football League. I mean, you're a receiver in the National Football League, and you are paid to catch these balls. But when you are moving full speed, trying to like keep your vision open to make sure you're not getting your head took off. You know what I'm saying? If the ball is behind you, you got to make that adjustment. It's hard, and you're in cleats. So if you turn the wrong way, you might tear something, bro. People not realizing this, bro. Like people not realizing like why people like the players don't want to show frustration with Spencer Rattler because he's a young quarterback. But it's also like, come on, my guy, put it on me. Give me a chance. You know what I'm saying? As far as the run game, I feel like the run game be going good. Sometimes we get too caught up in the run game, but it's been going good. Like this game, we was running the ball very well. But the trick play near in the red zone. What is we doing a trick? What is we having Olave throw the ball for when we were actually gaining yards running the football?
Hmm.
I don't know. Kellen Moore, he blows my mind sometimes, bro. Like he blows my mind. Stanley, I mean, what's his name? Brandon Staley. He gets a bad rep, but he really is dealing with the pieces that he have on defense. He don't even have Chase Young. We paying players that can't stay healthy or that's just not producing. So he's calling these plays. He's getting us in position. A lot of times players don't perform in those situations. But one thing that I will say, this offense is constantly going 3 and out, bro. If you're the defense, bro, you know how tired they is, bro?
Mm.
They
Yeah.
doing cardio. It's a lot of stuff going on with us, but I just feel like even last week after we got whooped, why is Miss Benson? I love her to death. She can't do no wrong, but I just feel like she need to put her foot down. Stop hugging these grown men. You hugging these grown men after the game, bro. What is we running, bro? We running a mental institution around here, bro. Like this mental therapy. They just got to get it together, brother. Like I'm gonna still be a who that, but this is very concerning because I feel like Kellen Moore is supposed to be evaluating this season. Okay, we 0-4. We're not going to the play. I guarantee, like, bro, we're not going to the playoffs. And even if we do, we are easy out. Easy out first round. We out. Like, so why is we hesitating on seeing the talent for next year and what we need to go into the draft and get? It's ridiculous.
Mm.
I just, man, they double down. Mickey Loomis, Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore ain't nothing but a Mickey Loomis clone. He doubles down on bad decisions, brother. Bad decisions, man. Just admit that you was wrong, bro. Admit that you should have went with Tyler Shuck to see what he had. Like I understand what the mindset was, but it's like that's just being scary. If it's me, I'm coming in. I need fire. When Sean Payne came in, was he scared to make his move? No. He went with his move. He did what he wanted to do, and that's why he was able to build the team. And he had great people around him, but he also even seen what he had in Drew Brees. If you can't spot what you got in players or how you can implement and use players, utilize players in better ways, I, I don't really got faith in you, brother.
Yeah.
I don't
Look,
know, man.
yeah, okay. So here's the thing. This is the reason why, I feel that they didn't go with Tyler Shuck. Because if you look at, okay, let me ask you this. If Tyler Shuck is the starting quarterback next week, does the offense change?
I feel like the offense changes slightly because I feel like Kellen Moore wants more of a point guardish type quarterback, a situationalist. And I feel like if you look at it, he's putting Spencer Rattler in positions to win in these situations, but it's just be certain times where he's either checking down too fast or he's missing critical throws, whether it's in stride or on the money, to where it's like, we couldn't get. He's leaving too much on the table. I feel like Chuck would at least be better capitalizing. I'm not saying he's our quarterback, but if he's not, go in the draft. Know if you have to go in the draft, because what we gonna do? Wait till next year, then we like, okay, let's see what Chuck got this year. We gonna suck again, brother.
But my thing is like, okay, they drafted Tyler Shuck, right?
Yep.
Okay. If they drafted Tyler Shuck, you don't think they wanted him to start?
I feel like if they thought he was just gonna come in and just be much better than Rattler when Rattler already had real bullets, real in-game experience the previous season under fire with no number, nothing. Bro, you guys to be kidding me if you think this man finna come from Louisville, and just do this in the NFL. Nah, it's not gonna happen like that. He then his tape didn't even show that. But if you looked at it in a lot of those big games in college, dude make them throws, man. You just got to get him experience to at least see, okay, let's see if you can translate to the NFL. Let's just see if you can give us what we need you to give us. Not like you don't have to be Mahomes, you don't got to be Josh Allen, you don't got to be Lamar, you don't even got to be Baker Mayfield. But if you could just be uh, a notch or a few notches above a Kyler Murray with the scheme that we have and the ideology that we have, and we're all quarterbacks, if we could just help you manage the game, you good. Utilize the run game as best as we can. Kind of scheme some of these guys open because it be times where our receivers get open. Brandon Cooks, I think, was a bad idea. If play valet more, put in Trey Palmer. Like, what is we grabbing these receivers? Like, what is we doing?
Like I said, it could. Okay. Based on what I'm saying, I want people to understand this. This is what I think. This is what I think. I think that the New Orleans Saints are looking at 2026 to be a better year than 2025. I think that's the reason why you got Spencer Rattler starting. That's the reason why I feel like, they're not putting Tyler Shuck out there because they would rather have Tyler Shuck sit on the bench and develop as a quarterback, and for him to get better to a point where maybe in 2026 he'll have some better receivers around him. Like Trey Palmer, to me, better than Brandon Cooks. As a wide receiver, I feel like he'll give you more than what Rashid Shaheed can give you. Jalen Polk, that remains to be seen. But you can probably add another wide receiver to the group. Then you'll probably have a much better Tyler Shuck 1 year just sitting down, taking reps, or towards the end of the season, getting some live reps. Man, look, I've seen.
So if you going into the draft, let me ask you a question. If you going into the draft, what is you grabbing? What's the positions that you aiming for if you the head coach?
I'm the way the New Orleans Saints are set up, I'm going for the most impactful player that can give me something. I don't care what it is. Like, it can be a pass rusher. It can be a linebacker. It can be like a wide receiver. Like, it really doesn't matter to me, because they need somebody that's going to bring in a spark, that is going to bring a level of energy to a position that the Saints don't have it. You know, so that's the way. That's what I'm looking at. Like, I look at this team, and the more I look at them and size them up, it's like, I don't want to say they want to suck, but it's just like they have come to grips with the fact that they want to suck. And my last point, and I apologize, man. I'm at the
no, it's okay. I already
call, but my whole thing when it comes to like Tyler Shuck is I've seen this movie before, and we see the state of the Saints, no pun intended. Limited wide receiver play, minimal offensive weaponry. And if this guy comes out here and he makes mistakes, or he shows you he's young and inexperienced, then you're gonna have people talking about how this dude ain't good. Like I said, I did not want that for Rattler, and I don't want it for Shuck. I mean, I know it's not, you don't want to like use like little fine tooth gloves with a person, but a lot of people, like, they're loud and they're obnoxious and they don't understand football or the situations that guys get thrust into. It's not always the players. Sometimes it's the circumstances around them. You have players like what we seen today in Josh Allen that can put a team on his back. There are quarterbacks out there that need people around them in order to make plays, in order for them to do certain things. Like, you need those type of players at your disposal. And if you don't have that, you're looking at a young, inexperienced quarterback being left on the island by himself and leaving it up to him to be criticized by the masses that don't really fully understand the reason why this guy hasn't broken through is because the circumstances around him aren't ideal. So they better be absolutely sure. And I think they understand that. I think they know that Tyler Shuck has some things he needs to work on, and they want him to be a little bit more of a finished product before they put him out here to be subject to scrutiny. And then, like I said, you lose the confidence of the fan base prematurely. So that's the reason.
Quick answer before you go. Is you take it, listen, just with your observations, because they both young players. Spencer Rattler is younger, and this is no bias. Like, don't just choose like who you feel would be better for the future of the Saints with weapons, with a complete team. I don't know, but I'm just wondering what you think.
The answer is I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which one. Like, to me, if we being 100, like, if we're having this conversation 3-4 years from now, neither one of them. I think people think, like, because I'm looking at like Spencer Rattler and I'm understanding the situation, like, man, you just all in on Rattler. I'm not in on Rattler.
Nah.
I'm looking at like, you have quarterbacks that can do a lot with less. Then you have quarterbacks that need things around them. And like, if Spencer Rattler was Brock Purdy, I feel like he will win more football games.
Yes.
Why? Because you had Christian McCaffrey, who can turn a 5-yard catch into a 60-yard touchdown. You got George Kittle, who can turn a 10-yard grab into a 50-yard gain. You got guys that can get yards after the catch. You put players around a guy who is limited. Brock Purdy isn't the best quarterback in the world, but the 49ers put players around him to maximize his potential. You need like quarterbacks exist like that. What we do is we become enamored with the greatness of the Lamar Jacksons, the Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows. And we like, that's what we want. Don't we all want that? But at the end of the day, not every team in the NFL is going to have that. You're going to have to suck a lot, and you're going to have a little luck in order for you to get those type of quarterbacks. And the New Orleans Saints have not had that luck. They've had some down years, but they're still not picking in the top 5. This could be the year possibly that they end up getting one of these quarterbacks that can probably put the team on their back or be able to get to get the best out of the players around them. But if we're having this conversation based on what I'm seeing right now, based on my analysis, based on these two quarterbacks, 3-4 years from now, we're probably not having a conversation about neither one of them. And that's just my opinion.
No, facts. I respect that. But no, I'm gonna slide back on you later if you back on here, man. Appreciate you talking to me, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, man. Call back anytime.
All right, for sure. Later, bro.
Yeah. I want people to understand this. Like, look, I look at quarterbacks and I evaluate them and I look at, are they better than what I seen from a previous game, a previous season, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that's my whole stance and take when it comes to Spencer Rattler. Like, he's not what he was last season. He is improving as a quarterback. But I just think that when we're evaluating this quarterback position, we're evaluating it from a standpoint of great quarterback play. And the Saints don't have that. And if Tyler Shuck was to come into the game, he isn't that either. So unless the New Orleans Saints are going to draft a quarterback that can put team on back, that can do what Josh Allen did late in the fourth quarter, then we're going to continue to have this conversation. Don't matter if the Saints draft Lenore Sellers next year, or they draft Dante Moore next year, or they draft Drew Aller next year, or they get Mateer next year. Like, it does not matter. If you have a quarterback and he can't do or produce like these top quarterbacks in the league, we're going to be right back here again talking about a missed throw or behind, like an inaccurate throw from this quarterback or that quarterback. So, but to answer your question, like if I'm having a State of the Saints podcast in 2027, 2028, I don't think we're going to be talking about Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck. That's just me. But we're going to go ahead to EJ. EJ, how you doing?
Hey, TJ.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. I'm doing well. I'm just sitting here laughing and, enjoying the conversation. And I want to say happy belated Founders Day to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. Let me tell you that I am not worried. I'm not upset anymore. I used to clean my house on Sundays while the game was going on if I wasn't in the dome or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I just feel a sense of nostalgia. This team that I am watching is what I was watching when I was growing up in the 70s and in the 80s and early 90s. Right. So we are reacting to what we've experienced through Sean Payton and the Drew Brees era. And we need to really stop comparing that because all of that is over now. Yeah. Our team is in a state of rebuilding. Mm-hmm. And I will say this as well. I couldn't be more happy with the team I saw today than the team I saw last week. Yeah. This team today showed the fight that I saw week 1 and week 2. Last week was one that just didn't have any to get up and go at all. Right. And I saw that they gave up 10 minutes into the game. So this week, I
mean, the game was over before it even started. I mean, it was just out of that game.
I turned it off. And I just went about my day. But I want to say this too, and I don't stay on long. Yeah. But I want to say this. Saints fans, calm down. Yeah. We've been here before. We know that we can come out again. I don't know if if Kellen Moore is the answer. I'm not dogging him because he brings a different zeal to the team.
Right.
But I was talking to a couple of friends of mine who are Eagles fans,
Yeah.
and they were not happy with him on the Eagles. I was like, really? And you didn't tell me what your concerns were? But yeah, they said he does he's not as stringent with the players as he needs to be, which is what we're starting to hear,
Yeah.
from different practices or whatever have you. But I just know that I have patience. And I do know this. I told you back in 2023 that we need to draft a quarterback every season until we hit upon that one that we will know is our future quarterback.
Yeah.
So I remember telling you that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think look, here's the thing. The New Orleans Saints, to me, they need a culture change. My biggest issue when it comes to Kellen Moore is I feel like the last two head coaches that the New Orleans Saints have had are virtually identical. Like when it comes to like their personality, they're not two guys that's gonna rock the boat. They expect their players to act like professionals and pros, and you probably have a few guys in that locker room that would probably act accordingly. But you also have young, inexperienced guys. If you tell them, okay, guys, I need you to work on your Microsoft tablets. I need you to focus, need you to dial in. Look, all of them are not going to do that. You probably have some of them that's probably going to be students of the game, but you're going to have a nice majority of them or a nice sample size that's like, okay, man, I get it when I get it, right? You got to be able to hold these players accountable. I'm not ready to like just completely, just give up on Kellen Moore. I do think that this is just one season, and I think it's going to take like a couple of seasons in order for him to like get the players that he needs in order for them to like find success. But when you're seeing players like Ernest Sinker make plays, when you're seeing Quincy Riley out there battling and kind of neutralizing, the position, like versus when Isaac Adam was out there, he was getting picked apart. When you're starting to see like young players start to like step up and make plays, it's like, okay, if you get a couple more drafts of that, you get a couple more promising players like this, maybe you'll be able to turn this thing around. But your quarterback assessment, I definitely agree with that. I don't care.
One last thing, TJ, before you go. I'm a Spencer Rattler fan. I believe.
Yeah.
Now, people in the chat gonna crucify me, but I think I see something in Spencer Rattler that will be QB1 for another team. And here's another thing I disagree with you about. And that is, I don't think the Buffalo Bills gonna be in the playoff. I mean, gonna be in the Super Bowl. I think it's gonna be the Pittsburgh Steelers for the AFC. But that's neither here nor there. We can go to your other one. And also, I'm a teacher. And so I always tell my students, when you do your job and you do your job well, there is nothing anybody can take away from you. And so I'm going to leave all these excuses for Jawan and Rattler and all of those. Just catch the doggone ball. That's what you're supposed to do. That's your job. You're getting paid way more than what I get paid every year. So handle your business and do your job. And trick play. That trick play, if it had worked, everybody be singing Kellen Moore praises. But it didn't work, and now y'all saying why he did it. Come on, Saints fans, just let's
I'm sorry. I would have been. I just didn't understand the play. I didn't. I'm talking about look, I'm not saying they shouldn't have ran it at all at any time in the game. I'm looking at it from a situational standpoint. Like you had opportunity to get a 2-for-1. The clock is under 2 minutes. Buffalo has no timeouts, and you're big I don't know, and that's none. The one thing on your mind should have been, we don't want number 17 for the Buffalo Bills to get this ball back.
Get back on the ball, yeah,
so
exactly.
Run the football. milk the clock, kill as much time as you possibly can. Like,
Right.
kick that ball to them with about 5 seconds left. If you don't get into the end zone, kick the field goal.
That's right.
I just don't feel like they're at that stage where they
Where
can
they
leave
can do
points
that.
on the field. And that was my only stand. I'm not saying like if you get down there third quarter, 10 minutes left, running the field, expect okay, cool. But in that situation, read the room. That was my whole
Right. I agree. I thought it was crazy too, but I was just saying, we'd be singing his praises. And finally, TJ, this is my last thing. I can't stand the fact that Atlanta won today, but Matt Moscona, James Spermata, Trace Gerard, and everybody has said that this team is not going to win much this season.
No.
What are we surprised about? What is the problem? Why are we getting upset? I'm laughing at the other people that came on, like they're really angry.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they wanted to be wrong. This is one of those situations where you want to be wrong. Like, some people are like, it's not gonna happen. But in the back of your mind, you're like, I hope it does happen. It's kind of, it's kind of a Jedi mind trick. It's like you're trying to psychologically program yourself that things are going to be bad, but you don't want it to be that way. And this is emotion. This is an emotional thing. Like your favorite football team or your favorite basketball team, when they're going through hardships, like you want them to be successful. And you're watching these games and you're seeing them make mistakes, and it's frustrating. So sometimes people, allow that passion to kind of percolate, even though they know that the situation and circumstances aren't exactly ideal.
True.
Yeah. But I appreciate the phone call. Thank you so much for chiming in, and TJ, call back anytime.
Bye, TJ.
All right, you take it easy. Goodbye. Yeah, I mean, look. When you're talking about the Saints, you're talking to people that have been Saints fans from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, have invested a lot of their time and effort and emotion in the football team. So despite understanding that this is a rebuild season, despite understanding that they may be limited at talent, right, when it comes to talent, like, you want to be wrong. Like you want this team to go on a winning streak with the minimal talent that they have. So, it's just one of those things. But we're gonna go ahead and go to Brother Prime. Prime, how you doing?
She told him to try calling the police here.
Prime, are you there?
There's
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on. I don't know, like he was into that soap opera you were watching, so we gonna go ahead and move on to Pavy. I wonder what Victor Newman gonna do next on that soap opera you watching. But we gonna go ahead and move on to Pammy. Pammy, how you doing?
I'm good. TJ, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Prime was into that telenovela.
Right, I don't know what was going on now. Mamacita, I love you. What's going on here, man? What's happening? What that boy got going? Prime, we'll get back to you in a second. Pammy, how
Prime
you doing?
said, "Lord, I thought he was still talking about the Saints."
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. Yeah, I'm just here to talk about the positives. We ran the ball great.
Mm-hmm.
I have been singing the praises of Kendre Miller since I saw him, and that boy got something, and we have something. So I want us to hold on to him as much as we can. I think each week his confidence is building more and more, and so thank God Blake Groupie made all his today.
Right.
Oh my God. I was
if anybody needed a game to get some type of confidence, it is him.
Absolutely. And he had that game today. I don't ever wish nothing bad on anybody, but I am kind of glad Caesar salad got tossed today. I just, he brings that line down. He brings it down. And Simpkins, I think he stepped in, did a great job. Let me tell you something. Trevor Penning handled his business today because we weren't calling out nothing on Trevor's side. We weren't saying nothing about Trevor.
Right.
Trevor was handling his business.
Now,
And
I'm gonna say this: that
okay.
first play, he got whipped on, but I
He
ain't hear nothing
did.
else
He
after
did.
that. So I'm gonna give Caesar some, some Trevor some credit on that. I mean, he was pretty steady.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know, that's his first game back. So TJ, we got to give him a little grace to get
yeah,
get his footing back under him.
right.
So and I just want to say to the Saints, I think me and EJ are more maternal when it comes to um being a fan. Just calm down, y'all. We all knew this season was gonna be rough. Please don't go bet your house on this season. I mean, come on now. Be logical. Be logical. Kellen does not have all the personnel that he needs to run the exact. We keep saying, oh, we see these vanilla offenses. Kellen see these people every day.
Yep.
He knows who can run what. He knows who has the talents to do what. We keep saying stick Shuck out there. You gonna stick Shuck behind the same stuff that Rattler has, and you're not gonna get no different results. I'm telling y'all, you can put him out there. Go on, put him out there, and then after he get out there and he is not as good as the Saints fans want him to be, then who you gonna turn to?
It's always the best. The best answer is always the person that nobody has ever seen.
Right.
And the best quarterback is always the backup quarterback. And I just, this is my whole point.
Yeah.
This is a guy in Kellen Moore who drafted Tyler Shuck.
Right.
They drafted this guy.
Mm-hmm,
If they felt like he could play better than Spencer Rattler, then why wouldn't they put him out there?
Absolutely,
I don't know.
TJ.
Look, we all want to be couch GMs and be like, okay,
right,
man, this guy right here is going to be better, and he's going to give you but there's something in Tyler Shuck that this organization has seen, and they feel like he's not ready. And
that's right.
As much as you want him to be ready or thrust him out there, like these guys, like you say, they see these players, they see how they operate, they see how they train, they see how they practice. We see these guys one day a week.
Thank you.
Maybe if we're watching YouTube, we might see an interview or something like that.
Right.
They might say something that make you smile or give you some like a confidence, like, oh man, if he was out there, they'll be much better. But
absolutely,
like, man, you get these coaches in here for a reason. Like, you get these people within your organization for a reason. So
it's so true. Yeah. It's so true to you, Jay. I'm telling you, that's why everybody was talking about before the season started, tank for Arch, because y'all were going off these YouTube shorts. See, YouTube shorts always put together the best of what you got, and that's what you're going off of. You can't build no team off no highlights. That's wonderful to look at, and it's cool to see Shuck dancing off a rap song after he throw a ball and hit a wide open receiver with nobody covering him. That's fine and dandy, but these coaches see this man every day. They see these players every day. Come on now, be realistic. If Tyler Shuck could start right now, he would start right now.
Why wouldn't you want him to start? Like, if you're 0-4 and you have a quarterback that is capable of giving you opportunity to win football games more than the one that you have out there, like, you deserve to be fired if he's not
absolutely out there. Absolutely. It's just common sense. So, and I'm not calling our fans silly or anything. Just have common sense. What you're saying and thinking it doesn't make common sense. And I understand that we want to say, well, Kellen should pull the trigger on Tyler Shuck, just like Sean Payton did Drew Brees. Drew Brees had been in the league for 9 years?
He was like 7, like
7 years.
Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 years. He was in his 7th season with the Saints. So he was drafted in the second round in 2001. Yeah, he was going into his 7th season. So
Sean had saw him play. It wasn't like, Sean had saw him play on a professional level. So We can't compare. That's comparing apples to oranges. And I'm like you. You said the same thing I thought about saying. I'm gonna get off TJ because baby, I can go.
No.
But Kellen gets a few more drafts under him. I see the people that he drafted. I see the potential in these people. If you get a couple more drafts like that under your belt, we got something. We have something. It's just gonna take time, y'all. We're in a microwave society where we want to pop in everything and have it to cook overnight. It's not gonna happen like that for us because, and I'm gonna go off of EJ. She said 2003 we should have been drafting a quarterback. We should have went before that. We should have been drafting a quarterback when we knew that Drew Brees' productivity was going down. We should have been drafting a quarterback then. But we blame that on Mickey Loomis because he didn't want to hurt Drew Brees' feelings, you know. And so, but you have to take feelings out of this thing. That's a lot of our problem too. We hold on to stuff for too long. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's water under the bridge. But y'all just give it time. Just give it time. This is the first year Kellen trying to get his feet under him. You got to give him grace. And I know, I don't want to be saying this in 2 years, but I'm saying this is his rookie year. And he's dealing with a lot of rookie pieces that he's trying to put together. And hell, it's like Frankenstein to him too. He putting this together, a head on this body, trying to work this out. So I mean, we just got to give it time.
Yeah. You got to give it time. I mean, this isn't like one of those like conventional coaching hires where a team would have a salary cap, picking in the top 5, probably have some talent, but just need somebody to bring it out of them. It's not one of those situations. Mickey Loomis has turned this cap into an absolute joke, which causes the New Orleans Saints to kind of be behind the 8 ball. They haven't won a lot of games. No consistency at key positions, so you're not attracting free agents. So they're going to have to like build a team to make this an attractive spot for a potential free agent. But you do that by drafting well. You do that by putting together a football team that can win football games to entice some of these guys. But until then, you're going to be dealing with the same situation. The cavalry is not coming, and if it does come, it's going to come in the form of you developing young players to be cornerstone players for the future. But until then, it's not happening.
Absolutely. And this team, it does remind me a lot of that Dan Campbell team, that 3-14 team that we don't quit. We really don't. I don't see anybody out there just flat out giving up.
No, me
we scrapping. We trying to do it. We trying to, hang in there. So I don't see anybody just quitting on the team. I don't see anybody quitting on Kellen. I think I'm like you. I think they know that they're not as upper echelon as into some of these other teams. They know this. I mean, come on now. They work with each other every day. That's another thing. These players see each other every day. So they know what they working with. Come on now. If I got a secretary over here that play around and up until 4:55 and then she be trying to get her stuff done in the last 5 minutes, I know what I'm dealing with over here.
Yeah.
So, I'm just
who
being real.
You know who can ball. You know who can't.
That's right.
You know what type of day you're gonna have.
Come on now. Come on.
We like, man, next man up. Like, nah, bro, come on, man. There's starters, there's role players, there's
there you go.
Backup, there's depth charts for a reason. So
absolutely. That's so true. Well, TJ, of course, I always enjoy talking to you. I always try to be logical when I call in because I know sometimes we just go off on a tangent and we want to say it's Olave fault, it's Jawan fault, it's this, that, and the third. Okay, it's really a combination of a whole bunch of stuff, but we all knew coming into the season we wasn't gonna win no damn 14 games. Now, if you came in here thinking
that wishful thinking right there, that's just you just being Captain Optimism right there. That's just what happened. There was not a doubt in my mind that the Saints wouldn't be in this position right now. I thought that maybe, you know, they'll probably squeak out some games, but you
Right.
know, we'll see. I mean, you still got plenty of games left. We'll see how this season is going to transpire. But you know, if you play the way that they did today, you know, and you go up against some of these other teams, you'll put yourself in a really good position to end up winning.
That's so true, TJ. And one other thing, I'm gonna say one other thing. It just kind of flip flopped. I thought last week the game would be like this week.
Yeah.
It
Right.
to,
It's probably best that happened last week.
Right.
Because it made them so dialed in and focused on this game because everybody was going against them. And nobody expected them to win this game anyway.
Absolutely.
But you go out there and have a sorry showing like that against Sam Darnold. Can you imagine? Like, so people like, man, they wrote them off, and it was like, okay, y'all don't think we have a chance? Okay, let's go ahead and try to put this thing together. And they did the best that they possibly could against a contending football team.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, TJ, you have a great night. And God bless you and your family. And I don't know if the hurricane is coming y'all way, but I ain't heard nothing else about it. But so
we're good over here right now.
Okay.
I mean, there's some things that's happening out there in the Atlantic that's working in a favor you know, of this area. So I mean, things are pretty much been on a up and up so far. So
well, praise God.
stay the way that they are right now. But I appreciate that, Pammy, and I
You're
appreciate
very welcome. All right, darling. You have a great night. Always good to talk to you.
Okay, take care, and you do as well.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Shouts out to Pammy, man. Yeah, I mean, had a little bit of a hurricane scare out here, but there's actually another hurricane that's actually coming through that's forcing the you know, the wind and the rain that we were anticipating having to stay out there at sea. So hopefully it continues to provide that pressure where, you know, things won't be affected around here in my area out here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. But we can go ahead and move on to Ronald. Ronald, how you doing, man?
What's up, baby?
Yeah, how you doing, man? Appreciate you calling in. What you got for us?
Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Indeed. I'm gonna pump you up a little bit. Let me see if I can pump you up a little bit.
Okay.
Give me a minute. All right. Yeah.
All right. What you got for us, my friend?
What's popping, baby? First off, be safe out there. I can definitely relate to what you're going through weather-wise. I'm from New Orleans, as you can know.
Yeah, me too, man. Definitely understand that. You know, the hurricane follow me for some reason.
Hey, same out here, baby. Hey, it kind of like ducked us this year, you heard?
Right, yeah.
And it's going towards y'all this year, you know?
Right, yeah.
But anyway, stay safe. But let me ask you a question, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the season when they started doing the coaching searches and all that, who would you rather have coaching this Saints team? McCarthy, Aaron Glenn, or Kellen Moore right now?
You know, based on how the Saints were structured, Mike McCarthy probably the way the team is structured. I just think that it was just going to be an uphill battle for a young, inexperienced coach. You know, I think when you look at a coach like McCarthy, he has experience at, you know, building a team, number one, being able to execute and get the best out of what he has available until he can actually figure it out. With these young coaches, you really just don't know what you're going to get most of the time. So I would say Mike McCarthy, even though that wasn't like the popular choice. I just think that based on your situation, he probably would have been your best choice.
Nah, indeed. Nah, I remember when Aaron Glenn was the pick of the meter, everybody wanted Aaron Glenn. I was like, Aaron Glenn, don't even come out here. You're not going to get the opportunity like Kellen Moore going to get. They're going to probably give that man 2 years, and he won't probably get a chance to develop that team at all. If Aaron Glenn start 0-4 right now, I'm telling you, he's in a coach. He's in the hot seat right now. Right now.
Yeah. I
mean,
New York don't play that, man. They they don't care how bad their team's been. If you don't generate results, on to the next. So
exactly. But I'm saying even out here, people would have been calling for his head out here. So I'm saying, based on everything, man, when the season started, I wanted McCarthy because of the experience. I remember McCarthy was the OC with Jim Haslett, with Jeff Blake, and Aaron Brooks at the backup. That was our first playoff win. I remember that distinctly. I was in our house for that.
Right.
He's the better coach. Cashy, like he would have had this locker room online.
Yep.
That game last week against Seattle. Nah, he's not going to have that kind of approach against Seattle like that.
No.
He's going to balance the offensive play calling with the running and the passing. Kellen Moore is a pass happy offensive coordinator. If you ever look at his tenureship with the Chargers, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. The Eagles, he got changed a little bit because you had to use Barkley. Barkley was the man. You had to use Barkley. He ain't had nobody like Barkley. But see over here, we got Kamara. Why you not giving Kamara the ball like that? Ain't no way in the world. Kellen Moore should be able to have this man throwing about 35 plus balls a game. And you're not utilizing the best player on offense.
Yeah.
Now I get it. You're not ahead on games. You're always trailing, and you're always coming from behind on these games. You're trailing, but you still got to stay honest. You got to stay honest and stick with the game plan. Kellen Moore, I understand he's very aggressive with his play calling. That quarterback Rattler, I like him. He's tough. He's coachable. But unfortunately, he's not the type of fit for that offense. Tyler Show's not either. That's, to me, that was the most questionable pick I ever saw in my life. And I've been watching football since the 80s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Been a St. fan since 86.
Okay.
And I'm like, that kind of move right there, I'm saying to myself, I'm telling you, McCarthy would have never drafted a quarterback that early like that.
Yeah. Look, here's my thing, Ronald. I just want to rebuttal. Number one, let's go back to the Mike McCarthy situation.
Yes, sir.
I know people are like Mike McCarthy didn't want the job, but that's not necessarily true.
I understand. That's not true.
I think what it all comes down to it is Mickey wanted to hire a coach that he will be able to maintain his position, wouldn't overstep the things that he does, and I can do this over here all the while you can do this. Like I said, the last two hires by the New Orleans Saints, when it comes to Dennis Allen, Kellen Moore, they both have like this passive aggressive approach about them. They not like these rah-rah, borderline tyrant type guys like Sean Payton is, or even Mike McCarthy.
Indeed.
These guys want control because they feel like, man, I have won over 100 games in this league. I'm a Super Bowl champion coach. I've won double-digit games constantly. Like, you got to be able to give me some type of autonomy here. And I don't think that Mickey Loomis wanted that. And even like with Aaron Glenn, like Aaron Glenn wanted control to a point where he didn't want Mickey Loomis to be the general manager.
He sure did not.
He was able to select his own general manager. And
right. He wanted that.
With Mike McCarthy, he wanted the same thing. And I think that is the reason why Mike McCarthy was like, I'm not interested, because it had everything to do with the fact that he wanted control. And it's justifiably so, because we're in this position right now because Mickey has made so many missteps as a general manager. So guys are like, I'm not going to let this be a reflection of me. You didn't muddy this joint up. So you need to allow me to fix it. You have already proven over the last 3 to 4 years, you can't do it. At least without Drew Brees and Sean Payton not being involved. So those guys are not going to attach themselves to an inept general manager who only, from the looks of it, looks like he found success because he fell ass backwards into a head coach in Sean Payton and a quarterback like Drew Brees. So, yeah, I would have chose Mike McCarthy over any one of these guys.
Now, let me say this. Now, I'm going to push back a little bit on that. What I remember during the whole coaching search, McCarthy wanted to use, McCarthy wanted his own coaching staff. Loomis said, nah, we're going to keep the same coaching staff from Dennis Allen. You got to work with that. That's why he was like, I'm cool on that. But you see, when Kellen Moore came on that, Kellen Moore got his own staff. Kellen Moore brought in Nussmeier. Kellen Moore brought in the homeboy from the Chargers.
Yeah, Brandon Staley.
You know what I'm saying? See how that coaching tree working together? So Kellen Moore is starting his own coaching tree from the Chargers, Cowboys, Philadelphia, and it's all tying in with the Saints right now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this team is not elite enough. Like, kudos. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna stick to the game. To me, everybody was riding hard on that offensive line. The offensive line did an awesome job today.
Yeah, yeah.
You gotta give it to them. To me, that was the MVP. They played a clean game. They only had 3 penalties. 3 penalties. They was in the game. They kept themselves in the game. They were very disciplined today. You got to give it up for that. And that environment, you got to give it up for them, man.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that preparation. To me, that was the same Super Bowl right there today.
Yep.
The way they played it like a Super Bowl game.
Yep.
They approached it like a Super Bowl game. Live was on players was on the line. Because see, all of this is a evaluation tool. How you play in games like this is how you're gonna see how you're gonna go in the next phase. In the next phase. Right now, they're starting the foundation, and you know how foundation get laid, bro. You're gonna have mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But you at least gotta have the blueprint.
Yeah.
The blueprint is there. And you saw it today.
Yeah, I mean, they trended in the right direction when it comes to like these young players. Like they flashed. Like I said, Quincy Riley was out there.
Yeah.
He did a good job. Yearn Sinker, I mean, it goes without saying he did a good job. Like you're seeing
that was
like
big time. He was playing big time.
Andre Miller probably had his best performance since
the young stars pop
game couple years ago. So the young players are trending in the right direction.
They pop. Yeah.
But this is just one season where you drafted 9 players and you have a bunch of young, inexperienced guys. It's gonna take some time.
Again, I'm gonna say this. That's the whole process. You got to play your hand. You can't go excuse me. You can't go run into the front office and try to make changes mid-season. You can't go to the front office and say, "Oh, we gotta trade some player for some draft picks." Nah, hold your ground. Play your hand. Because the minute you start making moves mid-season like that, you're gonna lose the team around in that locker room.
Yeah.
Keep the structure as is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got a good blueprint. You just got to stick to the plan. At this moment, I'm not focusing on how many wins you get. Show me how you play. Show me if you really want to play out here. Yeah. I want to see some dogs. I want to see some effort. I want to see some hustle. That's all I'm looking for. Yeah. I'm giving them, like I said, my expectations in the beginning of the season. I gave them like 4 or 5 wins.
Yep.
I easily top 5 pick.
Yep.
Because the roster is not elite enough to compete in this league, man.
Yeah. And it goes back to what I was saying, Ronald. I think they know that. I think they came into the season knowing that they had a limited roster, but they wanted to put together some scrappy young guys and that won't like just completely tick off like the fan base by not putting forward any type of effort. Now, I will say this. We're 4 weeks into the season. I don't think a fire sale is warranted yet. But if we're talking about week 10, week 11, and more than likely you're going to change and restructure this roster anyway.
Yeah.
Why not? You know what I'm saying? Try to do it for draft capital. I'm not talking about right now, like, oh, they lost 4 straight, like they just lost to Buffalo, like fire sale. I'm saying like down, like if we're talking week 11, week 12, you know more than likely your offense is not going to be structured the way that it is right now, or defensively, you're not going to be structured. Then I think you need to be trying to shop some of these guys that have some type of value. I'm not at that point. If you're like only had like one game won in 11, 12 weeks, you know, already lost the locker room. So it don't really matter what you have done as a team. Like people ain't gonna be like, I'm keep on fighting. They know that the season is over. They know more than likely turnover is going to happen. So in that case, you might as well just follow suit. I'm looking at them trying to restructure this team because they got players on this team that's talented. They just don't have enough players on this team that are talented enough to be able to win football games, to keep these things interesting consistently. So you're going to change. This team is not going to look the same in 2026. I would be shocked that if this team looks from the, I hate to say it, unless some things change, from the quarterback position, from the cornerbacks, from like the linebacker crew. Like I think a lot of players on the football team are going to be gone, or they probably going to like lose their position as a starter. Like that's just
Really
how I feel. Like they're not good enough. You know, they're
wait. So you don't like Pete Werner?
It's not the fact that I don't like Pete Werner. It's the fact that I don't think he's going to get any better than what he is right now.
He's going to be the next man up after Davis, Mario Davis.
Ronald, look, if that's the case, I hate to say it, but it's based on just the pecking order of the Saints. And to me, that is the reason why the Saints are in this issue that they're in right now, because they lean way too much on trying to justify high draft picks. For example, look at Isaiah Foskey. How many times did they give this dude opportunities to hit the field?
Yeah, they wasted time on him.
Yeah. Call a spade a spade. If a dude is not working, he ain't working. I'm not saying Pete Werner is terrible. What I'm saying is, when did he get drafted? He's been in the league like 6 or 7 years. For 6 or 7 years, Pete Werner.
I think it was less than that. Was it less than that?
I say about six. I'll give him like 6 seasons. I give he had to, like, if he got another contract, he has to be in at least 6, 7 years. So for 6 or 7 years, he has been a feast or famine type guy. Week 4, he'll probably have 11 or 12 tackles all over the field. Then, you know what I'm saying, the next week, he'll probably have 3 or 4. You need consistency at that position. Like, he's not, you can do better than Pete Werner. So, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we had Braun, we had Alonzo, what that dude from Detroit, and we had all of those players, and they were not first-round picks.
Right.
They were like second-day, third-day picks.
Right.
And look how they matriculated right now.
Yeah.
We had CJ Gardner. Look how he matriculated. He got him a ring.
Right.
So I'm saying defensive wise, the personnel and the coaching staff, they all have to tie in together. And right now it's showing out that they have to work out some kinks. To me, I'll say, because you said about week 12, if you wait that long, you might as well just play it out and just wait for next year. So going into that, look, we already know it's over with. We're not even all we got to know about right now is weekly improvements, weekly progressions. Who we going to look for weekly progressions, week to week? Who's going to shine out each week, so we know who to give the money to come next year and the year beyond. And who's going to be our co-players next year? So what I'm trying to say is this: they should have got a veteran quarterback before the season started. They missed out on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was pure pride. That was pure pride saying that Kelly Botek, he can change the game. I can coach any quarterback. I got Dak Prescott on the map. I got Jalen Hurts on the map. I got Justin Herbert on the map. I can turn this around. No, that kind of quarterback is not those kind of quarterbacks. So here's my question to you. Next year, 2026, I'm looking at a quarterback playing for the Indianapolis Colts right now. He's going to be a free agent. More than likely, the coach going to show him the money. Do the Saints compete for him or stand pat in the drafts? Because you ain't got nobody after that.
Nope, I don't. I don't feel like number one. I feel like they need to go after a veteran quarterback. I think you need a veteran quarterback in the room anyway. I didn't agree with them going with young, inexperienced quarterbacks that had never won a football game in the NFL. Like, you need a veteran in there that has been in some games that can help these young players to develop and become professionals. I definitely felt like they needed a veteran quarterback. Going after Daniel Jones, nah, I don't think
Really?
that's the answer. But I mean, if there's another veteran quarterback out there that can give you levels
Wait a minute. So
bridge,
Tyler Show is like a bootleg Daniel Jones, if you ask me. But Daniel Jones is more refined. Daniel Jones been through the fire. Daniel Jones got playoff experience. Daniel Jones is solid. Look what he's doing with the Colts right now.
right?
Now the thing is this: they already got them a quarterback they drafted early, and clearly he's a project in Richardson.
Right.
So they got to make a decision on that. Same thing how Seattle got with Sam Darnold, how he left Minnesota. He was in play, but who put us in cash trap with that? Derek Carr. Derek Carr took his time trying to get himself out the door, and he acted like he didn't want to play no more football. But when we had the opportunity to get veterans, he acted like he was going to stay on the team and play. But what he did, he playing out. He sold out.
Yeah. Look,
he put us in a bind. He put us in a bind because clearly, before the season started, Derek Carr was set to be the starting quarterback in the season.
Look, I just think, look,
Derek Carr made a bad move and set the team back. They had no choice but to get stuck with this quarterback class they got right now.
Look, I think that me personally, I think that Saints fans just got to be patient when it comes to like these young quarterbacks. Like, I understand, like, I feel like they need to have a veteran on the team just, to provide leadership and have somebody in the locker room. But this is what Saints fans are going to have to understand. When you have a young quarterback, they are going to make mistakes. They are going to do things that make you scratch your head. They are going to do things that are going to make you frustrated. It's because it's all about the process. You're not going to find too many finished products that are coming from the collegiate ranks. Like I say this all the time, Ronald. We talk about the Jaden Daniels. We talk about the Cam Newtons. We talked about the RG3s, the CJ Stroud in his rookie season. We look at those guys and be like, man, that's a great quarterback right there. Like, man, that's what we need. But for every one of those guys, you got Bryce Young who struggled, Drake May who struggled. You know what I mean? Like
Kyler Murray.
Yeah, exactly. Until they figure out what and who they are as quarterbacks, you got to be able to be patient. The problem is, Ronald, you've been in a foxhole for a long time. You got a lot of these Saints fans in their late 20s, early 30s who seen the Saints play with Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And they look at Drew Brees, how great he was. And now it's like they cannot shut it off. If the quarterback does not look like Drew, complete passes like Drew, make decisions like Drew, then he's no good. But with what the New Orleans Saints fans are going through is what many teams throughout
already gone through,
including the one they just played. We talk about Josh Allen now, but Ronald, you remember EJ Manuel?
EJ Manuel was supposed to be the man.
Man, come on, man. What are we doing?
Like, they had Tyrod Taylor too.
Yeah, bro. And man, they went through a lot of ish in order for them to find Josh Allen. Yeah. You may not have experienced this, but what the Saints are dealing with at the quarterback position is what many teams experience. And some of you don't want to accept that because you probably heard that from your grandmama, your uncle, your big brother, and you don't experience that personally. It's one thing somebody tell you, "Oh man, when I was young, man, we used to be broke." If you ain't never experienced that, you can listen to the stories, but you can't relate.
If you never understood,
You're looking at it
Yeah.
from a modernized standpoint. So
If-
these
if-
quarterbacks aren't going to be what you want them to be
Yeah.
right now. It's just
If
not
you
going to
never,
happen.
if you never understood hard times before, you ain't gonna understand hard times now.
Yeah.
I remember when they had paper bags on their head, bro.
Man, for
I
real.
remember
Me
that.
too. Me too.
They don't understand that. They don't understand the whole. You got to have a coaching tree with a good quarterback to succeed in the league.
Right.
Montana had Bill Walsh. Steve Young had the coach after Steve Walsh. I forgot his name. He was the successor after Bill Walsh.
Dennis
Troy
Erickson.
Aikman had Jimmy Johnson.
Mhm.
I mean, I could go on and on and on, bro. I mean, I seen it. I seen quarterback play. The Dan Marinos. Elway was my quarterback. Marino was my quarterback. Joe Montana, like those kind of back in them days, those quarterback play back in them days. Like when you back then, if you can average 280 a season in a season, you was a solid quarterback.
Right.
Now everybody want to throw 400 yards here, 300 yards there, 4-5 touchdowns here and there and there. Man, Marino was doing that effortlessly, and he had wide receivers. He ain't had true number one receivers. He had small, speedy receivers that can be able to get separation. Marino could just give him the ball and do your thing.
Right. The Mark brothers. Mark played and Mark Cooper. Yep.
Exactly. And the coverage was hella tight. It was so hazy. I'm saying about it was so physical, bro. You saw that, bro. It was very the defensive passing interference back in the day was highly questionable back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was like get yours and you can get it.
Oh yeah.
Now it's like anytime somebody get touched, you try to draw a foul just before you get an extra down. Nah, it ain't come down like that back in the day. You had to get it how you live. Right now, bro, I'm just saying, I know offensively, because the head coach is offensive driven, I think at times, and I'm gonna get off on this because I know you got other people coming on. I think at times he have to show some maturity and patience. That play, like I'm put like this. I think I put that in the chat last week. When they went forward on 4th down and 2 last week, early in the first quarter.
Right.
You showing me right there, you scared. You can't play them straight up. If you got to do that, look what they did. Look what they did today. You try to do a Philly special on a goal line, basically on a goal line, and it's score like what 14-10, and you missed out on 3 points.
Yep.
You left points on the board. That kind of team, you cannot afford to leave points on the board like that.
Yep.
You can't.
I agree.
And that defense was scrappy, but I swear to God, when your boy came up with that interception, I was like, whoa.
Right.
That's big time. If you get an interception against Josh Allen, because you rarely do that at home like that, that means you have to stick to a consistent plan. Like really, like cut down on the flats, cut down on Cook. They were zeroing in on Cooks to a minute, bro.
Yeah.
And forgive me. Cam Jordan keep getting sacks at an old age.
Yep.
He's pushing. Granderson, he's pushing. That defensive line was pushing. They were putting some pressure on him. So that's what I'm saying right there, bro. Stay fans. Please look at this as I know they don't like to hear it, but you got to look at it as a lesson, as a moral lesson, because this is football is life, you heard? Football is life.
Yep.
How do you prepare in life is the results you're going to get overall.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If people counter you out, just know that for sure God got your back, and God is always going to put you in a battle no matter what. All you got to do is show up, bro.
Yeah.
Or you got the talent. All you got to do is show up. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Buffalo had home field advantage. Some of them calls were some BS calls in that game. That touchdown was very highly questionable with Brandon Cooks. I thought that was a touchdown. If you ask me, that would have been a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
So we had opportunities, and we're going to keep having opportunities.
Yeah.
And I think that right now we just have to stand back, relax. We're not going to the playoffs. Just enjoy the football season.
Yep.
Just enjoy the football season. That's all I can say. And right now, even from the game we had yesterday with LSU, how they played, the same way. When they come down to playing against top tier teams, they're not about it. You heard?
Yeah.
So
They
at the end of the day, it's all about keep refining, keep striving, keep believing. You gotta believe, bro. You gotta believe. You can't. You gotta turn that noise. You gotta turn that noise. You gotta turn that hater noise off, man. And just focus on your grind. Focus on your, you know what I'm saying, on your goals, man. Because the minute you let those haters get into your head, it's a wrap.
yeah.
It's a wrap. You
Man,
won't be
look.
able to focus in the game. But on that note, bro, I put like this. I appreciate your show. Look, we got Bobby Abel. Look, we got Bobby Abel on our show. I'm like, man, let me turn that off. Let me see what the brother talking about. You hear me?
I
So
appreciate it, man.
I appreciate your knowledge of the game, bro. Keep striving, bro. I want to see you do big things out here.
Man,
And you repping the Saints real good out here, bro. Saints fans out here, I appreciate you, bro. So on that note, bro, holler back, you.
I will, man. Thank you so much, man, for the kind words, Ronald, and call back anytime, man. Appreciate the talk.
Yo, before you leave, if that was phone number I can call, you guys just do it like this.
Yeah, we just do it like this, man. Like I put the link inside of the comments, and that's how we do it every week, man.
All right, bro, man.
All right, you take it easy. All right. Yeah, shouts out to Ronald, man. Like, yeah, man, this team got a lot of things that they need to work on. But if they play the way that they did today, yeah, I think you'll see some wins sooner rather than later. So that's all you can ask for. Like, that's all you can ask for is not shooting yourself in the foot and creating opportunities for yourself. But when the opportunities do indeed present themselves, got to be able to take advantage of them. All right, we're going to go to Motivated. How you doing?
Mic check. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How you doing?
Word. Oh, big fan of the show, bro. Thanks for taking my call. You know, I'm always in the comments. You be yelling at me here and there, you know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you taking my call.
No problem, man.
Yeah. Like, it's funny that you made the name of the thing Moral Victories, because I guess I'm about to take some moral victories, because I felt like it was just a lot to be encouraged by. And I want to start with Jonas Sanker. Dude played like a stud today. Like, what was he, a 5th round pick or something like that? He didn't look like it today. He made plays left, 4th or 5th round pick. Bro was all over the place. Man-to-man coverage on tight ends, on wide receivers, playing zone coverage, you know what I'm saying, deep third. He handled his business today, bro. So definitely good sign for him. I saw Stutzman a little bit on special teams with a couple tackles. Like, other than we haven't seen Shuck yet, but this draft class looked like we got a little something to it. Like, Banks has been pretty good. Sanker is obviously establishing himself. Diggs is on the field at least. You know what I'm saying? He's just not like a waste of a pick. So we get something out of him. But other than that, I thought Kellen Moore called a really good game. Probably out of the 4 games, I like the way he called offense today more than anything because he stuck with the run. Because to me, the best player on this offense is Alvin Kamara. And you need to lead with him every game you get off the bus. You know what I'm saying? And Kendra came in, and I thought he gave us a lot too, to be honest with you. Touchdown, ran hard, and kind of run a little bit different. Kamara's a little bit more shifty. Kendra's a little bit more straight ahead. So it gives you that Mark Ingram 1-2 punch that we had back in the day or whatever. So it was good to see both of them show out today or whatever. I just really like the commitment. Like, we talked about Rattler over the past few weeks, and I don't want to just dog the dude, because I don't think he's just like a scrub. The person that I really compare him to, he reminds me a lot of Tyrod Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was impressed with the way he ran the ball today. He was juking dudes in the middle of the field. I didn't even know he was that, quick in the middle of the field. He made a lot of plays with his feet. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't just awful today, but he just missed a couple big throws, mainly the one to Cooks when he's running wide open in the end zone. And we saw that week 2 against the 49ers. He did the same thing with Olave. That kind of, that's a 7 points in a game we lost by 5. That's 7 points in the game we just lost by 9. Like, that's something that we kind of seen from Rattler. Like, he'll do some things well, but he won't do enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why he's 0-10 at this point. Like, I know we're not thinking about last year because everybody was hurt. I feel that and I understand that. And I said that at the beginning of the season. But to me, I don't see any huge improvement in these first 4 weeks to say we should leave the dude that we drafted in the second round on the bench. Now, I'm going to trust Kellen Moore's, judgment. He has a plan for him. And matter of fact, I remember on Twitter, Shuck's agent was like posting about the plan and how he liked it. So they talked to the dude and they know when he's going to get on the field. So, but at the same time, like, we've had some winnable games, bro. Like, I ain't going to say week 1, and I'm damn sure not going to say week 3 because neither one of those, I thought we obviously got dominated week 3. I didn't think that game in week 1 was as close as the score looked. Like, Brazil blocks the kick that gives us a chance to, go downfield and miss a chance to win the game too. But overall, we probably close to what we should be, 0-4 at best, 1-3. But I don't know. This game in particular, there was a lot of bright spots. Cam Jordan getting sacked. I always love to see Cam perform because he's always been so loyal to the team, and everybody loves Cam. He's probably Willie Rowe for him are probably the best draft pick in the history of the Saints, to be honest with you. Like most of the best players we have, aren't drafted by us. You know what I'm saying? So Cam is up there. This is an all-time great. This might be a statue type dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I want to see him get in the hall. So he needs to get probably. Yeah, like I want to see him get 5 to 10 more sacks. That'll for sure get him in there. 120. I think he's at 126 right now. Most people don't get in if they don't have more than 130. So. Yeah, he's fighting to get in the Hall of Fame. Demario Davis fighting to get in the Hall of Fame. He's an established player, so I want to see them succeed in general. But I didn't come into the season with high expectations. But I just, just evaluating everybody. What's his name? Rattler just needs to be a little bit better on the in breaking routes, like not throwing the ball behind dudes. He's like half a second late on a lot of these throws or whatever. But just today was encouraging. It wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen. Like, especially after getting smacked last week, it was definitely very encouraging.
Yeah, look, I'm glad that you mentioned the thing about Chuck's agent because, I say it like this. Okay, so let's just say, you want to get a car, right? And you're like, okay, let me get a car. Okay, you got enough right now to get a Toyota Corolla. But in 6 months, you can end up getting a much better car, like a high value Tesla or something. Like if you wait those 6 months, you'll get a much better car. My point is if you're looking at Tyler Shuck just being out here, what is he out here for? Right? If your season is looking like trash, on top of the fact that you don't think that he's ready enough in order to put him in that position. And in 2026, you can probably, start him over Rattler because I'm pretty sure that's what the Saints want. You're not going to draft a guy in the second round and not have type of expectation for him. I get what Saints fans are coming from too. You want to see what he actually has. But this is what I want people to understand, Motivated. If he comes out here and he plays lackluster, that's not an indicator of what he can actually be. But the problem is, that's how people are going to evaluate him in most cases. And I think that's what the New Orleans Saints are looking at. They're looking at in 2026, they'll have a better cap situation. They'll be able to put more talent around him, and they'll probably get a better showing. So when he does go out there and play, people won't be so hyperbolic about, his play. So I think that's the reason why they're putting Rattler out there. I think they're putting Rattler out there for him to just go ahead and play, understanding the team is limited, and maybe next year they'll have Tyler Shuck as their starter. I mean, nobody they're not thinking how Saints fans are thinking. They're not going to look at Tyler Shuck and be like, "Oh, Tyler Shuck gets thrust into the lineup. Oh, he makes a mistake. Oh man, let's just go ahead and cut our loss and get a new quarterback." I don't even think the Saints are even thinking like that. I don't knowing this front office, how they've been operating. No, sir. They take as much time as they possibly can, Motivated, to admit their losses and admit their faults. So ain't no way in the world they're going to sit up here and draft Tyler Shuck, the highest quarterback they drafted since 1971, and say, you know what, after one season, we have come to the conclusion this guy is not a starting quarterback. Mickey Loomis don't work like that. He will beat a dead horse. We seen it with Stanley Jean-Baptiste. We seen it with Isaiah Foskey. We seen it with Peyton Turner. We have seen it with guys that they have tried to push the envelope and force the issue time after time. So I don't think things are going to change with Tyler Shuck. So you might as well like just chill on him, because regardless of if he does play bad or good, they still gonna probably bring him out there next year.
No, yeah, I definitely don't think that they signed him or drafted him just to say in a couple months, like, we can always just draft another quarterback in the first round in the next draft. I definitely don't think that. I think they saw talent in him. Like, I think if you really look, he's got an arm, dude. That arm is live. 6'6", he's about 225. Like, he has all the measurables and all the talent in the world. I just think they had
problem. I have no problem with Tyler Shuck. But I don't. But my issue is, I don't want this man to go out there with the situation that the Saints are in, him not being everything that he needs to be, going out there and people like, oh man, this dude ain't never gonna be man. We ain't got no quarterback like that. To me, regardless of how Tyler Shuck, whenever he gets put into the lineup, and I'm pretty sure he will, I don't think that's indicative of who and what he can actually be. These guys have to get these reps in their turn. But also, we also have to understand that these coaches went to these pro days. They evaluated these guys. They broke down the talent, and they didn't want anything more than Tyler Shuck starting over Spencer Rattler. They wanted this dude to start. They gave him opportunities to try to start over Spencer Rattler, and he could not separate it. And I can understand.
He didn't clearly separate himself. I don't feel like Rattler in the preseason clearly separated himself from Shuck. Like, it was a really close competition between a dude who had really 6 games of experience and a half, because he played like half a game. I think Hayner started last year, versus a dude who with no NFL experience, who, keep in mind, missed like the first 2-3 weeks of camp or whatever with a holdout. You know what I'm saying? I think that set him back too. To me, that competition was too close to warrant not seeing what this dude got right now, especially when you're looking at what Rattler has done so far. Like I said, I'm going to say again, I don't think he's just been a complete bum out there. But I also see him missing winning plays, like plays that could win you the game or get you ahead in plays. He's not making those with his arm. He's doing a good job running, though. Like, they was early in the game, he was running for his life, and he was making plays with his feet. But you just got to be a consistent passer. And another thing, like, we talking about Drew Brees made us spoil. No, he didn't spoil us. He showed us a standard. You're supposed to be reaching for the standard that Drew Brees and Sean Payton put before. Like, we don't go back and just saying just accept and half-ass play.
You're not going to get that all the time.
But you should be reaching for that. You should be looking for that.
You don't think Buffalo reached for it for over 20
years? And they found it. And they found it. If we continue to accept mediocre play, that's what we're going to get.
After how many years?
It's been a while. Yeah, not every team goes like that. Like, I mean, you have a standard that you're looking for, man, and you find that the Ravens are always
standard. But we also have to understand that Drew Brees is an outlier. You probably never see a quarterback play the level of Drew Brees again in the NFL. In the 100 years motivated of the NFL, Drew Brees isn't just the greatest quarterback in Saints history.
He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I agree, but he's not the only great quarterback. You should be looking for that next great quarterback every time. Because if you stand here and you keep trying to put the keys in the hand of pedestrian guys and accepting pass, like, look at Dak Prescott. I don't think Dak Prescott is terrible at all. He's just good. He doesn't do much when the game's on the line, though. He doesn't make winning plays, bro. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and root on a dude that's not going to make the plays late in games that you need to be made, bro. We could have beaten the 49ers.
What are you going to do till then? What are you going to do till then? So if Tyler Shuck comes in and he's not the answer, then what?
Then it's time. Then we can start looking like people are saying towards the draft, towards all that other stuff. But we don't even know what Tyler Shuck can do. And I'm not saying he's going to start next week, but he's eventually going to get in there.
You don't think Kellen Moore knows what he can do? They watch this dude every single day.
I agree, but I don't think they're holding him out. I don't think they're holding him out because they don't think he's good. They just want him to see some stuff, get some experience, and they didn't want to throw him out there. But if you really look at the first 4 games, we played really 4 teams before the season. At least 3 of them you thought were going to be pretty good, and Arizona could be good. So Arizona won like 8 games last year. That's a solid team. They're not awesome, But he ain't want to throw him out there against a bunch of good teams. Like Rattler got experience. Let's see what he can do. We got the Patriots next week. We probably lose that one too. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know, bro. You could see him against the Giants in 2 weeks. I really do think we might see him in there.
You probably can see. I think they play the Giants this week.
No, they play the Patriots this week. They play the Giants the week after.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But, okay, so whenever they play him. Okay, so at the end of the day, they see this man every single day.
Agreed.
And I honestly feel like if they thought that he was good enough to start, they would have let him start. Like, I think it's beyond just us watching what we saw in preseason. Like, it's beyond that.
I think they wanted to give Rattler a chance, bro. Just for the same reason we all kind of wanted to give Rattler. Because of the same thing you've been saying, TJ. Didn't you say last year we don't want to hold 0-6 against him because there wasn't a team around him? They wanted to see what he could do with a team around him.
But it don't matter. That's a new.
It does matter. You said the same thing. You said you didn't want to see him out there. You don't want to judge him last year.
I'm not a part of the New Orleans.
No, I agree, but I think the collective was on that though. I think as a whole, the fan base, not just the fan base, the front office,
in that locker room.
Bro, I agree. Yes, but you make blanket assumptions all the time concerning the people in the organization. Now we can't do that. I really assume that they want to see him too. Like, I think they're giving him the same benefit of the doubt that you was giving him. Like, the beginning of last year, I agree. Last year was terrible, bro. Everybody was hurt. So I wasn't even on Rattler too hard. But it's a lot of stuff that he did last year that he's still doing this year. That's my only thing with him, bro. Like, I'm not seeing the improvement you see. I see the improvement around him because the line has been a little bit better than it was last year. We actually got receivers this year. But overall, I'm not seeing the same improvement that a lot of people are saying they see in Spencer Rattler.
This man was below 50%.
Because he's still missing big plays.
67% this season.
I agree, because he's throwing the better receivers. But he's still missing the big plays to win games.
How many big plays we talking about here?
Today. We played 4 games. Listen to me. In 4 games, we played 4 games. 2 out of the 4 games he's missing touchdowns that could have changed the game, bro. Like 2 out of the 4 games. We should have beat San Francisco.
So if he would have,
that's half the games, TJ.
They would have won the football game if he would have completed those passes.
They had a better chance, yes. If he hits Brandon Cooks today, there's a good chance we win the game.
Would they have won the game? I don't want to hear ifs. If ifs was a fifth, we all would be drunk.
Man, come on, man.
Would they have won the football game? Yes,
bro. Like, I'm not a psychic. I don't know, but I know we'd have had a better chance. I know that if you go to ESPN, they'll have win probability. Like, we probably was at 40%. If he scores that touchdown, I bet the win probability goes up. Like, he misses touchdown.
The probability goes up, but do they win the football game?
How do you? Nobody can answer that, TJ. I can't answer that, bro. I'm not a psychic.
The fact that Tyler Shuck would be a better choice.
No, I didn't say that. I said we need to see. I didn't say he would be a better choice.
You don't think the Saints
organization? I said we need to see.
Do you think the Saints organization would have Tyler Shuck out there if they felt he was a better choice than Spencer Rattler at this point? Why are they holding him back?
Because they got stuff they want to. He's still a rookie. That's stuff they want to teach him. Period. The same reason you get Spencer.
That's the whole point.
You don't just throw him out there, bro.
No need to put him out there if he's not ready for prime time.
No, I agree. I said that, but I'm saying I ain't saying he's gonna play this week, but I'm saying you're gonna see him. It's not gonna be they give him Rattler the whole 18. What be like 17 games? They're gonna be they're not giving Rattler that whole 17, bro. They probably don't even give him the whole 10. If we lose, put it like this: we lose the next 2 games. You're going to keep throwing Spencer Rattler out there? We out there 0-6. This man, what would be 0-12 in his career? You're going to keep watching him out there? Just because you don't think Shuck, man, you got to put that dude out there. I'm pretty sure Jackson Dart wasn't ready either, but he got out there because they didn't have good enough quarterback play ahead of him. The dude before him wasn't good enough to keep him on the bench.
That is a very good point. Tell me a game and show me a game where Spencer Rattler looked as bad as Russell Wilson.
Bad as Russell. I mean, I don't know what Russell how he played. I didn't watch any Giants game. I just know Russell Wilson ain't been that dude in at least 3 years. So.
Yeah, but I'm just saying on that. Like, I'm talking about just god awful. Like that last game that he played. What they played? Kansas City. He was off.
Oh yeah, you playing the Chiefs. If we play the Chiefs, we get a smack by him too, though.
Yeah.
He playing the Chiefs. That's one of the best defenses in football, bro. Like, you think Spencer Rattler gonna go out there and just dog the Chiefs defense? They gonna eat him up too.
My whole entire point is he has not had a game.
I agree.
That resembles that.
I agree. He hasn't been awful. I said that a couple
times. One inaccurate pass or two in a game is
but
not.
But those are game-changing plays, bro. You're not making the winning plays. That's what you ignoring, bro. Like, you got to get that. Brandon Cooks is doing the Tootsie Roll in the end zone.
The Saints have not won a game since last season. Nobody's making winning plays.
Exactly. They haven't won since he's been the starter.
Defense is getting sliced through like Swiss cheese. The entire team.
You feel like the defense getting sliced through like Swiss cheese today, bro? I thought the dudes played inspired. I thought the defense played well against one of the best offenses, against the MVP. Like, I mean, bro, come on. They made plenty of plays out there on defense today. For real, for real. 3 sacks, I think.
Okay, they made plays. Okay, Josh Allen. 16 of 22, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also ran 7 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown. James Cook averaged 5.3 yards a carry. Khalil Shakir, 5 carries, 69 yards, 13 average touchdown.
The Bills have played 4 games. The Bills have played 4 games. That was the worst they've looked in 4 games to date against that defense you're talking about. Okay, that was the worst. They played the Ravens.
They look bad against Miami too. That's why everybody thought they was about to blow the doors off the Saints.
Man, I don't know.
Man, all I'm saying, look, based on, like I said, based on what you're actually talking about, one throw is not going to get a dude bench.
It's a game of inches. One play can change a game, bro. I'm telling you, if you're missing touchdowns, that's 7 points in a game. You lost by 9, bro. Like, you in it, you got a chance. Like, 7 points is a lot of points in football. Like, a touchdown off the board can change a game.
Okay, period. So if Tyler Shuck goes out there and he throws an interception, then what? Then what are we gonna be talking about then?
Then he throws an interception.
Make the play to make the game.
We would say that. If he does it for 10 straight games and goes 0-10, then it's time for us to be looking elsewhere.
You're not gonna get no argument from with me from that. I agree.
But you arguing me about somebody that's 0-10 right now, though.
He's 0-10 dating back to a season where they were decimated by injuries.
Well, he's 0-4 now. He's about to be 0-5 Sunday. What happens then?
And then when
are we going to just keep piling it on?
And my whole point is, if you are playing in a game, then your team is 0-10. The season is over. It's over. So more than likely, of course, you're going to see not only just Tyler Shuck, but other players as well.
But I'm not trying to wait till the season completely over.
Like, for them to bench him because of 1 or 2 throws that are not going to decide the game. He is
benching them because
in the game. He's keeping them ahead of the
he's
chain.
Not. All right, so you're telling me
why they're losing. So until the main reason or the season goes off the rails, my dude, they're not going to bring him in.
Just a quick question, bro. Today, you watched the play calling today. You felt like they called the game to feature Rattler, or what do you feel like after watching it? What was the game plan today? Like, what was the offense? How do you feel? Not what did you think of it? Like, what did you think what the offense was trying to do? Do you think they were trying to establish a run? Because it just looked like it. They weren't doing really nothing downfield or none of that. It's really just we had a bunch of tight ends in the game and just running the ball down his throat. They did everything to make it easy for Spencer, bro, and he just still couldn't hit the big throws when he needed to, bro. That's all I'm saying.
What
the touchdown throw that I'm talking about that changes the game. We up 24-17, or what? We be up 24-21 with the lead in the fourth quarter.
So
more than one play, those.
All right, bro. 1 throw. So you think they're gonna bench this dude based on 1 throw?
No, a collection of big throws, a habit of not being able to make the plays in the biggest moments of the game is why eventually you need to see what Shuck got. It's been like that since he's been here, bro. And like I said, we not evaluating 0-6 last year, but I damn sure know that Derek, I'm about to say Derek Carr, the coach, fucking Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is definitely evaluating all that because he saw all that and he still drafted Tyler Shuck in the 2nd round. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know, bro. We can't keep making excuses for this dude. He got to be better.
Excuses for anybody, but my thing
we blame everybody else. So all of a sudden, Olave is not good enough, and now he ain't good enough. We don't have Olave.
Does he not?
Olave.
So Olave
outside of last year, outside of last year when he was hurt, Olave is a 1,000-yard receiver, bro.
I don't want to hear about last year. You talking okay? So you want to add okay?
He's not Antonio Brown. He's a damn good receiver.
Okay, let's talk about last year. Let's talk about last year and this year. Dude left a lot. Dude leaving a lot to be desired. He is not a number one receiver, and you know it.
Oh my God, no, I don't know that. I think
you
so.
don't?
I think
Okay.
it would be a colossal mistake for us to let go of Chris Olave right now, bro. That dude is a very good receiver. I think he's on par with our boy from the Jets who just got paid. Well, oh my God, bro. What it take? What is it? I gotta ask you. What is it? What is about him that's missing? Why is he not number one?
What name a big game? Name a big game where Chris Olave took over. Name a big game. He's been in the league since 2022. Name a game where Chris Olave
this is fourth season.
And I don't want to hear nothing about no quarterbacks because I've seen DeAndre Hopkins, who is a number one receiver. No matter who's throwing him the ball. I seen Mike T. No matter if Drew Brees was in that thing.
Man, Drew Brees in that whole time. He never played a full season with nobody but Drew Brees. That man ain't never played a full season with nobody but Drew Brees. How do you see it?
Name a game. Name a game where Chris Olave took over. The floor is yours. Name a game.
There's plenty of games where he's had over 120, 130 yards.
Don't tell me plays. Tell me a game where everybody was like, man, Chris Olave went off in that game. The floor is yours. Go.
Man, bro, should I have to? Do I have to research? I got to look it up or something. I don't know every single game he played in, but he's been a 1,000-yard receiver with Andy Dalton at quarterback. There was a year we had Andy Dalton at quarterback.
That's one of the biggest games he had when Jameis Winston was his quarterback. He had 187 yards. That was the best game that he had back in 2022. Name a game where Chris Olave was, without question, the best wide receiver on the field. The floor is yours. Between the
Chris Olave is a wide receiver one, and I'm telling you, and then once we get stability on our offense and then quarterback position, you'll see that dude's a good, very good wide receiver. He's a number one wide receiver. There's not a lot of receivers in the NFL better than Chris Olave, dude.
I ain't say it was bad. I didn't say it was bad.
I'm not saying the man is Megatron. I'm not saying he Antonio Brown. Chris Olave is a rock solid number one receiver, bro. Like, period. He just got hurt last year. This is a dude that was 1,000-yard receiver both of his years he played, and when he wasn't, it was because he was hurt. Like, come on, man. Stop.
And with those 1,000 yards, name a game where he just took over.
What do you mean, name a game where he just took over, bro? Like, it's a dependent position, bro. Like the team is terrible.
Call it out.
He's got a bunch of 100-yard games. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like, you want me to be able to say, oh, he had 900 yards in one game. He took over that. No, bro. It's like he's a good receiver. This has been an unstable operation.
He's not a number one.
What's a number one then, TJ?
Let me ask you this.
What's the number one? Can you answer that? Before you ask me a question, can you answer that? What's the number one receiver? Why is he not number one?
If the Saints in a couple of years draft Jeremiah Smith, is Chris Olave the number one receiver?
What you talking about? Freaks, bro. Like, that dude a freak. That's like if you draft Megatron right now, like prime Megatron, every receiver in the league, that would be the best receiver in the league. That's like drafting. Like T. Higgins in my eyes is a number one level receiver, but he's not better than Jamar Chase. Like, that's terrible.
Would you think? Okay, is Jordan Addison a good receiver?
Jordan Addison is a number one receiver. He just happens to have another number one that's better than him on the other side.
So he is Jordan Addison a dog. So he is a number one receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Justin Jefferson the number one receiver?
Justin Jefferson is the second best receiver in football behind Jamar Chase.
Okay. All right. So my whole point is Justin Jefferson, without question, is a number one receiver. Jordan Addison, you're saying, is not a number one receiver.
I didn't say he's not. I said he is. I think he's playing on the other side.
Because he leaves a lot to be desired more so than Justin Jefferson.
No, sir. Just because Justin Jefferson is a supernova, dude. That dude is a superstar. It's not a knock on him because the other dude is better than him. Man, come on, man.
Number one is a number one. So if
that's what I'm saying. Addison is a number one. Olave is a number one receiver.
If Jordan Addison comes to the New Orleans Saints, is he the number one receiver over Olave?
No, that's not the same level of receiver to me.
I've seen Jordan Addison make more plays than Chris Olave has.
That's a lie. That's not true.
That's not true. Yeah?
You can look at that numbers and see that. You can just look at the numbers and see that.
Justin Jefferson missed quite a few games last season. Jordan Addison stepped up, had multiple 100-yard games, became that number one. Now,
Chris Olave has had multiple number one games. And he's been 1,000-yard receiver every year.
Step up in that fashion.
That's not true because we see him step. He's been 1,000-yard receiver every year except last year, bro. And he's probably gonna end up being 1,000-yard receiver this year.
Who was on the team?
Rashid Shaheed, Michael Thomas was there for a little bit until he got hurt. Like it wasn't a whole lot of behind. What you mean? Like he's doing his job.
Who was getting double covered? Who was getting double covered?
It got to be him. It got to be Olave.
Chris Olave was getting double covered, and Michael Thomas, who was the
Michael Thomas played like 4 games, man. Stop, bro. He played like 4 games when he got hurt.
Who was the guy? Who was the guy when the game was on the line? Derek Carr was throwing to at the end of the game. Was it Chris Olave or was it Rashid Shaheed? I ain't never seen a #1 receiver take a
man, come on, bro. Like you can't be sitting up here telling me that Rashid Shaheed is the better receiver than Olave. Is Rashid better than Olave?
He don't have to be. He don't have to
be. He's not. That's what you mean. He don't have to be. He's not.
Why is he being thrown the ball over Chris Olave? Who possesses the
because you just can't keep throwing the ball to one dude.
4.26 at the 40. So why?
Because you just can't go
with him.
Because Rashid's faster than him. That's Rashid. That's all really Rashid can do. That's his game.
Rashid Shaheed at the end of games to close out games, bro.
What game? Can you tell me a game where they went to close? When? Can you name me one? Like you said.
Against the Tennessee Titans.
Oh man, come on, bro. They playing football. You one-on-one on the outside, and you take a shot.
Why are they not throwing it to Chris Olave if he's the #1 receiver?
Because more than likely he's being double teamed because everybody knows he's the #1 receiver. I guarantee you there's not a defensive coordinator in the NFL that gets the Saints game plan and says, you know what, the best receiver on this team is Rashid Shaheed. They're saying it's Olave. He's the one that's being double teamed, and they get one-on-ones on the outside. And I remember that play you talking about. Derek Carr went to the sideline and told that dude, Rashid, just run. They knew he was going to be covered by one person. That's why they took him down.
Okay, everybody in the chat right now. Is Chris Olave at this stage, what you have seen so far, do you think he's a #1 receiver?
That man's a #1 receiver, bro. Y'all doing too much, for real. No, for real. We can be this critical of him, but we just gotta accept. But we just gotta accept. Spencer Rattler and all his faults. We can be so critical of a dude who's proven to be 1,000-yard receiver 2 or 3 years he's been in the game.
No,
bro, that
reports on the Saints is saying that. No logical Saint fan is saying that. You're the only person.
Because y'all be doing so much. That dude is a #1 receiver, period. Well, they should trade him, bro. They should trade him then. Fuck it. Let's just trade him. Yeah, trade him. And let's ride with Shaheed out there. Just him. A dude who can't make contested catches for real. Like, I'm sure.
He will be a complimentary receiver.
Man, that boy goes somewhere else. He's gonna be a whole stud. Yeah, the boy gonna go somewhere else and be a whole stud. Because he's been a stud for the most part with us. He just was hurt last year. Period. He's been a stud for the most part with us. He just was hurt last year. He missed a lot of games, taking shots to the head. That's crazy. Trade him though. I feel like they should. Trade all these guys.
They should trade him. I think they should trade him. I think they should.
Just trade them all. Then y'all realize, bro, we out here throwing it to Javon Bailey and you know what I'm saying, a bunch of street free agents.
I'd rather throw to Devon Bailey.
I wouldn't.
No, it's not a #1 receiver. Than to pay a guy that I know isn't the #1 receiver and don't come.
Well, they're going to pay him, so you're going to be disappointed. They're not going to trade him. They're going to sign him because they know he's good.
The catch. No, not making nobody miss.
But no, man. Just forget all this production.
Okay. All right, man. I got a few calls I got to get to.
All right, man. Thanks for taking the call, bro. Have a good one.
All right, man. No problem. All right. Yeah. Shout out to Motivated, man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I still don't buy it, though, man. I still don't buy it. No, sir. No, sir. Not a #1 receiver. He has really great upside. #1 receiver? No, sir. Nah. No, sir. Moving on to Steve. Steve, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, what you got for us, man?
Man, that conversation had me weak. I ain't gonna lie.
man, shouts out to Motivated. Look, man, he has some compelling arguments or some things that he's saying, but I can't. Nah, bro.
Yeah,
I can't get on board with the Chris Olave experience right now. I'm not saying that the dude don't have talent, but
yeah,
but go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna add to the Chris Olave thing, and I'll be done with it. Chris Olave is a damn good receiver. Definitely not a number one. Um, he has shown some things he could do, but now we gotta find a guy who we can depend on third down, red zone. That's just what we need, man. We've seen it all season. We seen it some last season. Even in his first 2 years, just the contested catches is. I mean, he can do it, but it's not really his game. So we gotta find our guy.
Yeah. And
But
here's the thing, though, Steve. Chris Olave can play for the Saints, and like I said, he can be a really good like if he's not the number one guy. Let's just say the ankle injury didn't happen to Michael Thomas, right? Michael
yeah,
Thomas would still be eating. Chris Olave probably would be benefiting from that. He's a really good complimentary guy. He's just, to me,
facts,
like
facts.
I don't know if you've seen a game on Thursday night with Arizona and Seattle where you see Jackson Smith and Jigba. Like, the dude was quiet the entire first half. And then all of
Yep.
a sudden, like, he just woke up in the second half, became an
Game
absolute
changer.
dog.
Yeah, game
I don't
changer.
see that. I don't see that in Olave, bro.
Facts.
I don't see
Facts.
it. And people just look at, oh, he run fast, oh, he can catch. A number one receiver is a mind frame.
Yep.
Think about all the great wide receivers that have been number ones in the league. It ain't just been about catching and route running. They didn't had that dog in them. They
Yep. You
going
that
up there,
guy.
they catching these contested catches.
Yep.
Like, man, bro, I don't, man, bro. Go ahead.
All right. So back to the game today. I got some negatives, got some positives. The first thing, Staley, I don't know what he got going on, but at the beginning of the game, he had them corners 7 yards off,
Oh, terrible.
playing zone coverage,
Terrible.
outside leverage on a guy that runs a 4.6. Like, why are we doing that? That don't make no sense. I don't get the thought process. I don't get the scheme behind that. It just don't make no sense to me.
That was terrible. Look, they started off the game like they didn't respect those wide receivers. Like, they thought they can jam them at the line of scrimmage, but they had a whole different story. But they made them change from man to zone real quick in that game. So yeah, that was terrible. Like that opening defensive scheme was god awful. I don't know what they was looking at. I don't.
And then staying with the defense, I don't know what's going on with our D line, but Godchild is a cone. That man cannot stop the run for anything, and for him to be our run defensive anchor, I haven't seen nothing from him yet. Not preseason, not week 1, not week 2. He's been a cone this entire season.
Yeah. I think that they definitely need somebody up front. I don't know. I looked at how they were using Godchild this offseason. It was like, oh man, we got this secret weapon. But I mean, they getting sliced through, man. And if you're gonna run a 3-4 defense, like you need that anchor up front. You need a Via type guy. You know, like you need a big guy that's
somebody to plug it.
They don't have that yet. Like, maybe they're gonna have to get that in the draft. They need that big anchor that's in the middle, man, because they got to be able to move bodies. That's why you look at guys like Albert Hainsworth. You know what I'm saying, when he was with Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at like some of these other guys who have like plugged up the middle, you know what I'm saying, that have been a force. You know, I'm talking about Hainsworth before he actually got paid. I ain't talking about like Redskin Hainsworth. But you need a big body guy who's going to be able to plug up the middle to be able to stop the run. If you don't have that and dude getting pushed back, it's going to be a rough day for you being able to stop the run.
All right. And then again, staying with the defense, man, we 0-4 at this point. We might as well just start playing the young guys, man. Pete Werner not it. Like I said, Godchild not it. Let Christian Boyd get some run up there. When he's in, he looks like he shows a little flash at least. You know what I mean? He's young, fresh legs, Sanker. You know, I ain't gonna lie, this might be a hot take. I think he's one of the best players on our defense as it stands today.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely made a case that he was worth the draft pick number 1. Now, I mean, still got to see some consistency there, but
100%.
I think
for sure.
But I do know this. Games like this builds the confidence of a young player. Like when you catch an interception, and think about this, like you ain't just catching no interception off just no Joe Blow. You caught your first interception in the NFL off the NFL MVP. Like, and not only that, you were going up against a top 5 tight end in Dalton Kincaid, and you basically kept him in check. You know, so these type of games can catapult a young player and build up his confidence. Like, I belong here. I'm making plays here. So yeah, I definitely agree that if he continues on his uptick, I mean, we still got to see it. It's very early in his career, but this game right here can catapult this young man to being a solid safety for the Saints. And if he can do that, man, then you know they already got something going in the secondary. So hopefully he can build on it.
100%.
Yeah.
And then this is something I've been questioning. I don't know if you've been peeping Saints Twitter or whatever, but I've been saying this since week 1. Mm-hmm. Why do we trade for Devon Vele? We give up 2 draft picks. He's a 6'5" receiver, and we don't use him in the red zone.
Oh my goodness!
That just blows my mind.
And he was in uniform. I was like,
"Come on, man!"
I'm like, "What are you doing?" I don't know. Look, I don't know if they dressed him, and maybe he's still dealing with an injury. We're gonna put you out there just in case. But if that ain't the case, how about going with like one of these other like tight ends, man? You know, like how about going with somebody that can be that red zone threat? What?
Right.
Like I don't get it, man. Throwing the ball, like no disrespect to Rashid Shaheed, really good, fast, speedy receiver down the field. But why are you trying to throw a ball to him in the back corner of the end zone?
Right. Like, we have big bodies. It don't make no sense.
You need to be throwing I agree. You need to be throwing a 50-50 ball up to a 6'5" Vele. You need to be throwing the ball up there, like even a Jack Stool or something. Like you need to be able to utilize some of these bigger receivers. So I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't know why this man was a healthy scratch, you know, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was out, he was in uniform, but you might as well just say it was a healthy scratch because I didn't see him out there at all. I seen Mason Tipton out there. And I,
like,
I didn't see Bailey.
What are we doing?
I don't know, bro. I really don't understand it. I don't understand the angle. I didn't understand the Philly special in that situation.
Don't even get me started
don't understand like why you're not utilizing big body receivers in the red zone. I don't know. Bad play calling, bad execution, and also most importantly, just bad decision making. Yeah. But you got anything else, man?
Yeah. Last thing, and it just sticks with the play calling. We have one of the most dynamic screen backs in the league, and I have yet to see a screen pass go to this man. And
I'm glad I said that this morning on a prediction. I'm like, where's the screen pass? I ain't seen a screen pass to Kamara. A lot of what Kamara catches are check downs. I'm like, man, what an ankle route at? What a wheel route?
Right. You know, like, something he's done well his whole career, and we're not even utilizing that.
Yep. Man, that's why people talking about crazy, man. I'm like, I don't want to see Alvin Kamara waste his prime years in New Orleans if they ain't going to give him the ball the right way. Let him go somewhere else where he can compete for a championship.
Compete for a chip. Right. Exactly,
man. I ain't trying to see this man being held down in the gutter. Like, yeah, man, this man got mansion dreams and you got him in a gutter. Like, man, let this man go somewhere and thrive and take his talents there. And his talents can be the reason and help a team reach their full potential. But, man, I don't know. It's just frustrating the way they've been using Kamara, man. Running him between the tackle like he Derrick Henry or Jerome Bettis or something. Like, come on, man. Utilize this man. Like, he can run east-west instead of north-south most of the time. He can catch the ball better than most running backs. You know, he catches the ball sometimes like a wide receiver. You got to give him an opportunity to be able to make plays. But anything else?
No, that's it, man. I just want to say thank you for having me on. Been rocking with you for a minute, man. Just watching the progress and everything. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm rooting for you.
Man, thank you so much, man. Call back anytime.
All right, appreciate you.
All right, no problem. Yeah, man, we're going to go ahead and finish up these phone calls. We're going to go to Brother Prime here. Let's see if he's done with that soap opera. Prime, what's going on?
Oh, man. Look, you hear me?
I can hear you, man. Hey, man, what were you watching earlier, man? What was going on?
Oh, my wife is looking at some stuff on TV.
Okay, I was like, man, what is going on here? But man, look, man, thank you for chiming in. What you got for us tonight, man?
Man, I went to Popeyes and came back to get the weight on. Give me a bit, bro. But I'm gonna say this. I appreciate your patience with the knuckleheads two calls ago. He reminds me of one of them black MAGA supporters where you're trying to teach them the facts He said, oh, no, but the moon is black. It's not white.
Look, man.
Because
I respect people's opinion about what they thoughts and their viewpoints, but I just can't. The way I look at it, I just don't. Yeah, I just didn't agree with it. But he made some compelling points. I give him that.
Yeah,
he made some compelling points. I just can't get down with the Olave, number one thing right now, and I just don't see the New Orleans Saints just benching Rattler like just because the Saints didn't win a game and he threw the ball behind the receiver. It's just not happening, man. Like he hasn't played bad enough for the New Orleans Saints to like justify him being benched. And and he's not the main reason why they're losing. So and for the most part, Saints fans still behind him. So unless those things change, Prime, I don't see him getting benched.
man, look, let me say this. All right, class. This is Mr. Broshaw, your teacher. We're gonna talk about some history here. Archie Manning, the man that everybody say we should get his son. Archie Manning was 0-8 in his first 8 starts. I'm gonna tell you. History. I told you this 3 years ago when they named Allen the head coach, and when Benson died. I saw history repeating itself. So the way this team has played these last 3 seasons.
Hey, Prime. You're going in and out, man. I apologize. I want everybody to be able to hear your point. So
you got me? You get me now?
Yeah, I do now.
Okay, so as I was saying, Archie Manning was 0-8 in his first 8 starts as the Saints quarterback.
Right.
This team is repeating itself. Gail Benson reminds me of John Meekum.
Okay.
That's how bad she is. The offensive line and the defensive line.
Hold on, Prime. Keep that point for some of the newer listeners and viewers that probably don't know who you're talking about. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit on that?
All right. John Meekum was the first owner of the New Orleans Saints. I've been a Saints fan since '69. Okay, right. I was born in '63, the year that your fraternity was founded.
Right.
So John Meekum was the owner of this team. His daddy made him the owner of the New Orleans Saints because his daddy didn't want him running his oil business here in Texas. and that's the fact. And that's the fact. And you see, the same things are going on because we wasted 3 years of dealing with Allen, and then what was it? 2 years or 3 years that Cole was our quarterback. Was that 2 or 3 years?
It was 2 seasons. It was 2 seasons.
So you go after a man that had a losing record at another team. He was the second coming of Snake Stabler. That's another historical connection that I'm making here. The offense. Look, like you've been saying about Drew Brees. For every Drew Brees, I could give you a Bobby Scott, a Bobby Douglas, a Warfel, oh God, other quarterbacks.
Jim Everett, a Billy Joe Hobart, a Billy Joe Tolliver.
Man, the reason why Breeze was so good is because he has something to prove. Yeah, because he wasn't as tall as the regular standard quarterback in the league. And the reason why the GOAT, which I don't agree with, Tom Brady is the greatest, he even played an extra couple of years to break records that Drew Brees held. Okay, that fact. Another fact is we had.
Hey Prom, we getting some comments here. It says your TV too loud. I don't know, like I can hear you. I don't know if everybody else can. Like I said, I don't want to like you're making some good points. I just want to make sure everybody can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me better?
Okay, Okay, I mean, like I said, I think you're fine. It just seemed like people were just saying they couldn't hear your points because of your television.
Okay.
All right, so
My next thing.
go ahead.
Olave is the second cousin of Cook, because Cook was the same way when he first came to Saints the first time around. He had speed and hands, but he was not a number one wide receiver.
Right.
And everybody want to talk about be hard on Rattler, but you need an offensive line. My thing is, I'm blaming this coach because you want to have a 3-4 defense plan, but you don't have the linebackers to do that. That's what you should have drafted. The Saints should have used this draft and next year's draft to improve on your offensive line and your defensive line. We all know that Ruiz needs to be let go. The reason that Penny's playing better as offensive lineman, and when the Saints drafted him, I wasn't excited about. He was known for being a running offensive lineman. His skill set wasn't set for pass blocking. That's why he didn't pan out the first 2 years he was in the league. Because hasn't Penny been in the league like 3 years now?
Yeah.
So he do good because the Saints had this. I don't know why they do this, and they didn't even Jim Moore. If you need an inside linebacker, you don't draft a tweaker. Who was the two defensive linemen? One went to some college here in Texas and San Antonio somewhere. What was the two boys?
They talking about Davenport.
And what was the other guy there? They drafted like 2 years after him.
Peyton Turner.
Both of them were bust.
Yep.
So stop trying to draft people. That's like you want to get your coffee. What kind of
Hello, Prime. I'm sorry. Hey, man. Prime. Yeah, we lost Prime. I don't know what it is, man. It's like that. I don't know. I mean, look, I can still hear him, but I don't know if everybody else could or not. I don't know if everybody else could. I mean, he was going in and out, and then finally, like, the connection was lost there. So I apologize, Prime. I apologize. Man, this show went longer than I thought, man. We had like 3 hours, but I know people had a lot to say. But I do want to acknowledge some of the people inside of the chat here, okay? Thank you very much to Boogie. Thank you for the $10. Said, TJ, I'm your age and saw the Saints football before Breeze. I understand Kellen is evaluating talent and on and off the field. And they're talking age. They are playing the younger quarterback. Yeah, they are playing the younger quarterback. It's crazy, right? And also, man, happy birthday to Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck. Today is their birthday, both of them. It's crazy, right? I mean, they both from Arizona. I want to say they're probably like born like 45 minutes apart as far as where they came from. And they're a year apart when it comes to age, but they have the same birthday. They from the same state, and they try to get the same job. Let's see. All World Trucker. Thank you very much for $4.99. Said Troy Aikman is a perfect example of a quarterback who is limited, but had a great supporting cast around him. But I will say this also, All World. Let's not just minimize what Troy Aikman was. Troy Aikman is also one of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time. Like, dude was a marksman of all marksmen around this thing. So he had the accuracies. I'm going to give him that. All right. Enough of the same drafting O-linemen. I'm still so mad that the Panthers and Bucks have their own wide receiver. When is it our turn to have our own weapons? Yeah, I agree with that. All right, man. Look, this is what I'm going to do. I have to transition because, like I said, this has been a long show, but I appreciate everybody. 562 people still here talking football, and I just ask that you hit the like button. Hopefully, we won you over with some of the fun conversations. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button. But we got to transition to the state of the NFL, man. We got a Sunday night football game we were supposed to do, and then we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Green Bay Packers. That's going to be on the State of the NFL channel. So for those that want to have the watch along, you can bring your Saints questions over there. You can bring your commentary over there. I'll open up the phone lines in between so y'all can be able to talk. but I don't want to make it so Saints dominant over there. So if we want to talk about some of the games that you may have saw today, or even a game that we're about to watch, make sure that you bring your questions over to the state of the NFL. So appreciate the time. Much love to everybody here in the chat. Shouts out to everybody at home, all those that called in. I mean, so many people called in. Shouts out to Jordan. Shouts out to Mike. Shouts out to Motivated. Shouts out to Unk. Shouts out to Ronald. Shouts out to Prime. Shouts out to Pammy. Shouts out to EJB. Praise. I'm trying to make sure I ain't miss anybody. And if I do, charge it to my head and not my heart. But I think that's pretty much all the people that kind of called in today. My guy Dalton, of course. Appreciate y'all. Y'all could have been rocking with any other podcast, any other show, but you're here with me, and I appreciate it. Special shout out to the official sponsor, MyBookie. Shouts out to MyBookie being an official sponsor throughout the 2025 season. Use that promo code SAINTS to take part in the buy-in option where you can actually get $500 back. Up to $500 you can place your bet, and with the buy-in option, you can actually get that money back. All right. So once again, we're transitioning over to the state of the NFL to talk about the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers. Michael Parsons returning to AT&T Stadium. Let's see if the Packers can get back on a winning track after an embarrassing loss to the Cleveland Browns. And can the Dallas Cowboys get back on track after an embarrassing loss to the Chicago Bears? Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?
Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I got to say is, who dat?